Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. If you haven't seen this video, this is going to put a smile on your face. Go to the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com. It is a toddler in a car seat who goes from crying to laughing when his parents turn on his favorite music. And you got to be thinking, okay, what is it? Is it something from Bluey?
Peppa
Is it
Pig.
Baby Shark? Peppa Pig?
Big balloon.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't ask for songs.
No, sorry.
Just trying to. Turns out this kid's cooler than all of the kids out there because this kid's favorite music is a band, and that band is called Metallica.
What? You want rock?
About rock music?
You want rock music? Metallica?
Yeah,
Is that what you want to listen to?
yeah. It's my house.
This one?
Yeah.
Wow. That's the reaction I have when I hear Metallica.
Is that Steve?
Right.
That's a little Beavis or a little Butthead right there. The kid's great.
Oh, little Beavis.
Yeah.
And there he is rocking out. He sticks his tongue out. They're
Yeah.
parenting right. They
Oh my
deserve.
God.
They deserve like a medal or something.
That is baby Steve. I see it now.
It's just the hair.
Yeah.
The kid,
There you
stupid
go.
kid has more hair than me.
Yeah, that's it. Otherwise, we would think it was just you.
That's so killer. And you think he's a big Stranger Things fan, and that's why he's now a fan of Metallica?
It's very possible.
If they're having their kid watch Stranger Things, I think they've got
Yeah.
bigger issues at this point.
What? Why can't a little 2-year-old watch Stranger
Yeah,
Things?
Brad,
That's a lovely show.
You're never too young to expose your child to great art.
Oh, yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I mean, Demogorgons and Vecnas. What is that going to do to the kid?
I don't know. DJ, how did Starship Troopers work on your young son there?
Wow, see, look at Joey. Look at he.
Yeah, look at him.
Yeah.
It's your fault. No.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's very, very true. That is
Man,
awesome.
They're doing it right. I feel like my child is stuck in the 90s with bad. Tatum's a fan of just bad 90s hip hop songs.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's random.
How did that happen?
Well, Dad was an idiot once and put on jock jams.
Yes.
And ever since then, Daddy, whoop, there it is. So,
Oh, there we go.
no, it's Whoop, there is. That's what she calls it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Love
we listen
that.
to Whoop, there it is, and then also the classic from the Quad City DJs. You remember Ride the Train? Come on, ride the train.
Come on, ride the
Choo,
train.
choo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lyrically, not the best choice, but she hasn't figured that out just yet.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not. Wow.
There's a lot of innuendos.
Yeah.
I think she
I
just
didn't
likes
think
the
about
train
that.
song.
You know what? They do a good job with the innuendos where you can actually argue that it really is a song about riding a train.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
then
awesome.
you go ahead and have that argument around any other adult while your kid's rocking out to that.
Yeah, so I'm slowly building a playlist of and Everybody Dance Now. That's another one. The CC
that's
Music
well,
Factory.
You can't argue with CC.
You know what the thing is? They're awful songs, but they're fun. So I'm
Yes.
okay with it.
Oh yeah. Plus, when a baby's involved, it's even better.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just randomly just out of nowhere. It's like I think like now that's just like a statement for her. She'll just be like, "Whoop, there it is." I'm like, man, you are like back in the. It's like you're talking a language that we used to speak like in the mid '90s.
Well, you know what? She's bringing it back.
So have you tried rock with her?
Yeah, she's just like whatever.
Oh, she's not asking you to turn it off yet, right?
Oh no. We'll be in the car and I'll like have like the Glorious Sons on. She's like Daddy Peppa or Daddy Whoop.
Yeah.
Oh, see,
it's like-
yeah, see, that's
It's
you ruined her.
It started.
It's all downhill from here because like Lily used to tolerate like The Offspring and Green Day, and she
Yeah.
would be fine with it. She would ask for different music, and now she's just straight up trolling me. I turn on MXPX, and she's like, "Dad, no MXPX. Turn on Taylor Swift."
Rude.
And she's just like,
Whoa.
"Oh yeah,
At least it's Taylor Swift. You like her as well.
oh, I'm fine with it. At least she likes the pop banger. So at that point, I can go with that."
Yeah.
I will say that I did influence my kids, especially Sarah.
To be a Britney Spears fan, yes, we know.
Well, that was on her own, but she's a huge hip hop fan. But then all of a sudden, she will be okay with Collective Soul.
You're right.
It's the only one, but like that band does not belong to any of the other music that she loves. But it's because I just basically played it over and over and over when she was little, and the same with Joey D's. And yeah, but that's it. That's the only thing I influenced them was that one band.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
At least it's your favorite band.
Yeah, and everyone looks at them and they're like, why do you like that band? It is so weird. And they're like, well, my father just basically Stockholm Syndromed us into it.
Well, that's why for me, it's like, I don't mind it so much because, I mean, you all know that the band Tag Team is like my favorite artist of all time.
Back again.
Tag Team, back again.
Wow.
Dude, I swear, by the time she turns 3, she's going to know all the lyrics to Whoop There It Is. And it's going to be so awesome.
It's going to be great.
If we go to a party, like some like random like party, and I tell like the parents, I'm like, hey, you mind popping in a little Tag Team Whoop There It Is for us? And they're like, what the hell is wrong with Steve? Is he got like some kind of weird obsession? And then all of a sudden, Tatum's just out there on the dance floor singing it. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I agree. And I still think Head Over Heels better than any kid song. I'm sorry, because they make my ears bleed. So I'll take 90s hip hop over that any day.
There was a half a minute where she was obsessed with Itsy Bitsy Spider, which was like if I had secret information, I would voluntarily call whoever it was to give them that secret information.
Here are the launch codes, please. Somebody.
Right.
Stop it, please.
It's like, you got to be kidding me. Of all songs, like this one? This could quite possibly be the worst children's song of all time.
Now, is it bad because you have to hear it, or is it because it's bad because you have to hear it like 800 times?
Yes.
Oh.
And also, was it just one version? Like,
no.
See, that was the problem.
There's 2 versions. One being Coco Mountain, which was the worst of them all.
Okay. See, because Lily, she would get obsessed with one song and only one version. So it's like you would try to play her a different one, so you maybe she'd get like some variety going on, and she'd be like, no, the other one. And it's like, oh, come on.
That's so frustrating because for a while she was obsessed with Ba Ba Black Sheep.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure out which version because there's like a billion on Apple Music. So I'm like, she's like, no, Daddy. No, Dad. Finally, I figured it out. I'm like, I should have started with it. It was the Casper Baby Pants version, which we had a Casper Baby Pants dance party last night.
Oh, nice. Well, you know what? Casper does a great job.
Dude.
I give Casper credit, but man, most of the kids' music's out there not on that level.
When I heard Casper before I was a parent, I was like, that's kind of clever and cute. I get it. Chris Ballou from the President's USA makes sense. I mean, their music was very upbeat, and I could see how kids would dig it. But now as a parent, Chris Ballou is like the greatest person in the world because he gave us music that as adults we could still enjoy.
Yes.
It's like, you did the Lord's work, man.
Yes.
Give him a medal and all the Grammys.
Okay.
A medal and all the Grammys.
I was going to give you all the Grammys, but Steve also wants us to give you this medal as well.
Because it's tolerable.
Yes.
It's like, because Chris is very creative and talented. So it's like, these songs are well written and they're fun. And they're also fun for children as well.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Okay,
there it is, BJ.
Yeah, whoop, there it is. Man, if you're a city folk, you may not get this, but whoop, there it is. Farmers are soiling themselves.
City folks just don't get
it. But they claim they're soiling themselves all because of science. Oh! Steve will tell you all about this. He's got the Migs report for you at 6:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
Well informed on the issues of the day? Not this guy. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Migs Report.
Well, thanks, you guys, and thanks a lot, Tigers, for giving us the Migs Report. And today, perfect day to celebrate it. It's Summer Leisure Day. All right. So don't do crap. Sit outside in your backyard, watch your kid play, listen to some music. I don't know. Who am I to tell you what to do with your summer leisure? But that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I mean, my kid is 30, but all right. I mean, I guess I can go out and play and I'll watch you.
Sarah can't play in a sprinkler while you sit outside and watch?
Yeah, that's not weird.
I don't think so.
Yeah, all right, good. Well, then maybe you should fly home and have your parents sit out in the backyard while you run through a sprinkler.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you would. You definitely would.
Just to see my dad's reaction. Roseanne, why am I doing this?
Now, that's what I want to watch. I will sit out in your backyard watching that show anytime. Get me a beverage. That's a weekend.
I told you he hasn't grown up yet.
Yeah.
When are you going to grow up?
I told you there's something wrong with this kid.
It's also National Hammock Day, so maybe get a hammock. As right?
We got one, and it's amazing.
Do you tie it to a tree, or does it have its own stand?
It's got its own stand.
Nice.
Yeah, like, we don't have trees that would work.
That's good. At least you can put it anywhere you want. You're not bound to the two trees.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
my neighbor just set one up, and it does look pretty awesome. He got a nice shady area.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. You should ask if you could sit in it.
Yeah,
believe me, there were moments where I'm like, dude, how's that working for you? Like to try it.
Hey, howdy ho, neighbor. Mind if I sit on your hammock and I bring my daughter and our sprinkler over so I can enjoy summer leisure day?
Oh, yeah, that's not weird at all.
It's also National Mango Day.
Dude, I love mangoes.
Rev's Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of also like what is the dehydrated mangoes?
Oh, 100%.
Those are so damn good.
They're so addicting. I try not to get them because I'll eat the whole bag.
Right.
Like the Costco bags.
Yes.
Oh, man.
You try to convince yourself they're healthy even though don't read
They are
it.
not. Do not look at the nutritional value on those.
But it says mangoes. It's like eating like banana chips. I'm like, bananas basically. Like, no.
The sugar content is so bad.
Rev, you should smoke a mango.
Dude.
On summer leisure day, what better thing to do than smoke a mango?
Wrap it in bacon. There you go.
Oh, soak it in Fireball.
Yeah,
You know what?
I
I feel like the Rev might do this. When it
I
comes
really
to
might do this now.
But someday, it's going to jump the shark at some point.
Smoking
At some
things?
point, smoking and soaking in liquor eventually is going to work on everything.
So long as it still tastes delicious, I don't think it ever will.
That's what I'm saying, is eventually you would think, oh, this would be great, and it could be even better smoked and liquored. Which, by the way, is like pretty much anybody you've ever met is better when they're smoked and liquored. But anyway,
Yeah. Sounds like a really bad hip hop group. Yeah. Smoked and liquor.
Yeah.
With their new song, Mango Action.
Mango action from smoke and liquor.
All right. Well, maybe these farmers in Delaware should start figuring out fun things to do with mangoes because I think that they have a lot of time on their hands.
Yeah, what's going on?
They're in Delaware and they're teaming up with a conservative district, a Sussex conservative district, to use cotton underwear to test and help improve soil health.
So when you say conservative district, you mean like conservation?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, all right, because sometimes that word conservative means something political, but
right.
it's all about conservation. These folks, okay,
Yeah, this is. I mean, maybe they want to do this also with some political people where they soil themselves.
Hello.
To shove the underwear in the dirt, dig it up 3 months later, and see what's going on with the soil, and then noticing that the soil is healthier.
So I would just assume it would be okay because we use cow manure, right?
Yeah, I don't know why we need the underwear in there as well, but that's just what they're doing. In fact, here's somebody from the conservative district, Jonathan Walton, talking about the program.
The better the ground, the heavier it is, the more microbes and activity you have, which will transpire into the underwear being consumed by them. Basically, any of the cotton that was actually buried into the soil has decomposed with the natural microbes.
City folks just don't get it.
So they're peeing their pants
All right.
All right.
and then shoving it in the dirt.
Well, is that what it is? Is it number one, not number two?
I mean, I don't know. They showed the underwear and it didn't look. It looked all white. So I'm assuming.
I think the soiled yourself refers to them putting in the dirt, not so much that they're pooing and putting the underwear in the dirt.
Oh, so they're just putting underwear in there? They're not putting any sort of number one or number two in there?
I think that's the joke.
Well, that's stupid. The least they can do is soil themselves.
Yeah,
That's
what I thought what was going on when they said soil themselves. But Vicky may be onto something.
No, I think
That's
Vicky
the
might be.
pun.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at it, it looks like, it's burying your underwear.
Oh,
They're
just
soiling them.
Yeah, you're putting them in soil.
Man.
Oh, so is it your used underwear or
No,
is it new
I think
underwear?
it's just regular white undies.
And apparently, the underwear, if it disintegrates, it means that the soil is healthy.
Oh, so this is a test of how healthy your soil is. Not.
But I thought you had to soil yourself in the process.
I did too because of the headline. Clickbait.
It's Friday.
Man. You know what? You
I
had
should read the whole article.
Oh, it's so punny.
you got clickbaited, Steve.
I did.
Yep.
Yeah, it says plan a pair of new cotton underwear.
Oh, You know, you have a headline that says farmers soil their underwear for science. I'm like,
right? They're not wrong, though. And boy, we literally were city folks that did not get it.
But I read most of the article. Didn't know that part was a part of it.
Most of the article.
I read enough to know it.
You have just illustrated what is wrong with the internets today. Right there. You have just proven it.
It's their problem, not my problem.
I read most of the article, so I had no right to complain and be an idiot on the internet. I read most of it.
Why else would you put underwear in the dirt unless you soil it?
Right? You know that's what I do. I could see.
That's what I would do if there wasn't a garbage.
Oh well, I mean, yeah, I can't imagine it would hurt. Would it hurt if it was used underwear previously enjoyed, whatever you want to call it?
Well, now you know what, we should do it for science.
Yes.
What? Not a pain in the grass?
No.
We got a lot going on at the BJ Migs party.
It's kind of busy.
Yeah.
If we weren't doing the hot dog, the weenie toss.
Yeah. Otherwise, we would do it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about an Alaska Airlines flight. I know you like to fly Alaska, BJ.
That is, and even though we're missing a new CFO, I'm a fan of the airline.
Well, maybe that's why things are just falling apart for them right now. They had a flight from Washington, D.C. to San Francisco, and if only Russell Wilson was there to help the argument, people would be able to enjoy their flight. But apparently, they weren't able to take off because the two pilots were fighting.
What?
Passengers say that one pilot got on the intercom and said, "Hey, we're heading back because, well, there's a failure to get along with his other pilot."
And that's what he said? There's a failure to get along?
Yes, they're like, he said, quote, failure to get along. That was the reason why they were turning around or heading back to the gate.
Wow.
So a rep for Alaska Airlines are like, what the hell is going on? They had to put out a statement saying, yep, the captain and the first officer had a, quote, professional disagreement. Once they were back at the gate, one pilot just got off the plane and left. So the passengers had to get off the plane until they found a replacement pilot.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Because, again, this is a layman. What could you possibly disagree about as far as getting the plane from point A to point B? I feel like there's only one way to do it, and it's the right way, correct?
Pineapple on pizza.
Oh, so you think it was non-flight related?
Some might think it was a religious thing, a political thing. No, it had to do with food.
Okay.
What else are you going to argue about?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't get along with someone like, you know what, you should push button A before button B. I mean, I feel like it can't be anything job related.
What if this is like a soap opera type thing and one of them banged the other's wife or something like that?
Don't you think, though, that they would have said that on the intercom if you were, you know what I mean? Like, look, we're not flying. We have to turn around because my co-pilot banged my wife.
Or
I wish that would happen, man.
I would be so understanding. I might not even take them. Okay, I would take the $175 that they gave everybody for the inconvenience.
Love triangle with one of the flight attendants.
Yeah, I'm going for that, Danny. That's what I believe.
Damn.
That's what I believe.
Mm-hmm. Now it's getting naughty.
Oh, yeah.
Well, anyways, that flight was delayed 2.5 hours because of this incident.
Mad. I would be so mad.
And I guess I don't know, man. I think I could still be stuck in a cockpit with a guy I didn't get along with.
Yeah, you just don't talk.
Right.
Well, that's
just talk about the professional stuff. Like, hey, did you hit the button? Cool. Go F yourself.
You're used to working with me, so you can ignore anybody that's giving you a hard time. But the average human being,
I should become a pilot.
You really should.
I want to be the first radio guy to stop doing radio to become a pilot.
Not.
Oh, yeah, right.
Do we have names? Wouldn't it be funny if it was our buddy?
If it was our friend Randy?
Yeah. Well, you don't have to say names. What if it was Randy?
I didn't say his last name.
Oh, good.
Randy Jackson?
Yeah, Randy Jackson.
American Idols.
Hey, dog, I can't fly with you.
Why are you so worried about the name Randy?
Well, because what if he's the only Randy pilot?
Oh, yeah. There's only one Randy pilot in all the entire world.
We don't even know if he flies Alaska.
Yes, he does. He works for Alaska.
Look at you giving out information.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I
couldn't keep it vague, could you, BJ?
Keep it vague. That's why I'm going crazy.
And also, it looks like he doesn't work for Alaska.
He doesn't.
The one we know.
Yeah.
So,
he doesn't?
Way to jump to conclusions.
Wow,
BJ.
he must have went to somebody else. I thought he started with them. All right. Well, never mind then. Say the guy's name anyway.
Maybe he got into an argument, quit on the spot, and now he's somewhere else.
That's what I would do. Well, that's why I never see him. I really always want to see him on my flight, and I never see him.
Well,
okay.
I don't know, man. I get nervous. I know he's a good pilot, but I would just remember the times being drunk at the radio conventions with him, and I would be a little concerned.
Actually, I would too.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I know we mentioned quickly yesterday, but more information just about Kyler Murray, the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals.
Who got paid.
He got paid big time, 5-year deal, $230 million. $160 million of it is guaranteed. He's now the second highest paid quarterback. Russell Wilson's just got to be like, it's got to be a payday when it's my time. That Walmart owner's going to have to back up some of that money for Russell Wilson when the time comes.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, I don't care what Russell does this season. He does not deserve that kind of money. He's too old. He's too old to get that kind of money, and I think he's got to realize that.
Dude, he's going to get that kind of money. He's going to get more than that.
I think that's a giant mistake, and I am happy the Seahawks did what they did.
That's not our problem, thankfully.
Yeah, that's Caesar's problem. Caesar and the Broncos. Good luck to you.
Kyler Murray's getting $46 million a year. Fun fact, I don't know if you remember this, but Kyler Murray was debating and deciding between whether or not to go down the baseball road or the football road because he was great at both. And some believe that he took the wrong path because they felt that he was a better baseball player than football player.
Yeah, especially when it comes to money because you get paid in baseball even if you don't play.
And everyone's like, you're crazy. You're missing out on this great money opportunity. And he was being highly touted by the Oakland A's. Well, here's a fun fact. $46 million a year, he's making more than the entire Oakland A's roster.
Yeah, that's why you said the reason right there.
Jeez.
There's no such thing as being highly touted by the Oakland A's. I mean, it's an oxymoron.
Speaking of baseball, the Mariners are looking to go 15 straight tonight. They're back.
Let's go!
Oh, man, so excited for this one. Taking on the Houston Astros. If they win, they will tie the longest win streak that they've ever had, going back to 2001, which will be a nice nod to that storied season that everyone always brings up. So hopefully they win tonight. Sold out at T-Mobile Park. That place is going to be rocking, BJ. And I don't know if you saw, there was a great picture posted by the Seattle Mariners. I shared it on my Twitter at I'm Steve Migs. It's a great shot of the skyline of Seattle with the big wheel. But then you look at one of the buildings, there's a giant 14 done with the windows.
Oh, wow. When was the last time anybody did something like that for the Mariners? It is so awesome that it's back.
Well, I mean, yeah. When's the last time the Mariners have really done something that got us this excited?
Ew. Yeah, well,
they've had moments.
I just, it's been a rebuilding. It's been some tripping and stumbling. But if they do make something out of this season, I think that, we can say they didn't lie to us. It just, it took them a long time to get here.
It's fun to go on ESPN's website to see them refer to the Mariners as the hottest team in baseball.
Yeah.
Scorching hot.
Whoa, yeah, brother.
So strange to hear.
Hey, you want to feel old?
So thanks.
Okay,
every day I feel old, but go ahead and do it anyway.
Yeah, why not?
This week, we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of Seahawks Stadium, which is, of course, now called Lumen Field. Can you believe that it's been around for 20 years?
That is amazing, because we celebrated that not too long ago with T-Mobile Park.
I know, and both still look modern and cool. They're growing up right before our eyes, man.
Yeah, and the Kingdome didn't. Is it just? I think T-Mobile Park is as old or older than the Kingdome. I mean, which is crazy because the Kingdome was falling apart. But I think the Kingdome was 76, 77 when it was built, and it got knocked down in 99-ish, 98-ish. Right?
Destruction in 2000, opened in 76. So that's 24 years.
24 years. So T-Mobile Park is closing in on that. It's crazy to think that T-Mobile Park will be as old as Seahawks Stadium. Excuse me, as the Kingdome, and yet it looks like you said, Steve. T-Mobile Park and Seahawks Stadium, which now of course is Lumen Field. They don't look anywhere near as bad as the Kingdome did at close to the same age.
No, they look great. And one last quick thing, got to give a shout out to Sue Bird. Of course, this is her final season with the Seattle Storm and also just in the WNBA. Truly one of the great athletes that has ever played here in Seattle. And how about she's going to go out in style. The final game that she's playing against the Las Vegas Aces over at Climate Pledge Arena, which is happening on Sunday, August 7th, sold out.
Yes. That's awesome.
That's going to be pretty cool.
Wow. I mean, I don't know what sold out means for, the WNBA.
That means they sold all the tickets, BJ.
I don't know how they do it either. I don't know if they block off parts of the arena or if, in fact, the entire arena is going to be sold out like if it were for a Kraken game. I don't know.
Judging by how that arena is set up, I don't think they're going to maybe they are turning off something, but I doubt it.
I think that is fantastic because that is, the WNBA has been saying, look, we've been putting a good product on the court. Wish more people would come. So this is great news.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking at because the other game that's available is August 3rd, I believe, that they're playing. So if you maybe they do curtain off the 200 level. You might be right because I'm looking at the tickets that are available and nothing in the 200 level is available. But you think if it sells out, why don't you open up those
That's why I don't know. I don't know.
Still gonna be rocking.
It's still great. I mean, it's still great that whatever they call a sellout is what is happening for Sue Bird. I think that's fantastic because she deserves it. She's one of the best athletes the Pacific Northwest has ever seen.
We had that conversation a few weeks ago. I feel like you had to put her on the Mount Rushmore of great Seattle sports stars.
Yeah. I mean, and she is. Look, arguably, I have not seen her play that much, and that's the sad thing is that she is one of the greatest athletes that hasn't been seen by a lot of people. When you take a look at the other people that be on that Mount Rushmore, but she deserves it nevertheless.
All right, 73 degrees. That's going to be our high today, so it's nice and chilly out. So get your sweater on compared to yesterday. And then next week, dude, it's going to be scorching hot. I think we're hitting 90s.
Oh,
next week's summer.
So it's finally happening it's been a weird. It's been a normal Seattle summer for the most part, but now it's finally happening. The AC is going to be worth it.
And also for that last game, they do have the 200.
They did open up the 200. Yeah. So typically they don't. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool. That's very, very cool. Also, pro tip. A little pro tip, thank you, Steve. If you listen, I know that a lot of people may not be baseball fans, but if you are a baseball fan and you may not be a Derek Jeter fan and not care about this series on ESPN called The Captain, and of course, as a Red Sox fan, you'd think, why the hell are you watching it, BJ? But it is really good. And the first episode, if you get a chance to watch it, boy, oh boy, if you're a Seattle Mariners fan, you're going to smile. That's all I want to say. I'm not going to give anything away, but...
Did he punch A-Rod in the face in the first episode?
Well, unfortunately, A-Rod, this is back in the day when A-Rod was still a Mariner, so nobody wanted to punch him in the face then. But that's all I'm going to say. So, if you like baseball, at least the first episode of The Captain, which is really a cool story. When you realize what Derek went through and his family went through, you realize... Oh, man, it's hard not to like the guy. It really isn't. And, again, if you're a Mariners fan, there's some cool stuff in there about the Mariners in that first episode. So it's The Captain on ESPN.
I do want to see it because, in his early years, he was quite the partier. And I guess they talk about that. And I saw that there was a thing that ESPN posted where it was a quote from Derek Jeter talking about partying back in the 90s. And he said, if there were cell phones back then, my career would have been 3 years long because of all the stuff that would have come out.
Yeah, and, it's interesting because when you see that first episode, it's all about him being a little kid and, basically his journey from being a little kid to finally making the Yankees. That's what the first episode is about. And at least from that episode, Steve, you get none of the partying. You get to see Derek as business as usual. So they don't give you any of that vibe at all. So I am looking forward to seeing that transition when finally the bright lights in Big City went to Derek's head and he then became the Jeter, as you said, that would have got in trouble if they had cell phones and stuff.
Yeah, it looks like, according to this one story, it's the latest episode of The Captain where they go into his partying ways.
Yeah, it's a 6-episode series, so not a big commitment. And as I said, the first episode, if you're a Mariners fan, you're going to get a smile. Yesterday, Steve did get this one right.
The Police had the 80s hit song titled Every Breath You What?
Take. I'll be stalking you. Hey, pretty good. Look at you. You want a shot at beating Steve? All right, here it is. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 6:50. On the Rock.
Today's podcast is brought to you by bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, who's ready to answer your questions about bankruptcy. Travis, is it true that if you filed for bankruptcy once, you can't file again?
Even if you filed bankruptcy before, you can almost certainly file bankruptcy again. Different types of bankruptcies have different time limits between filings. In Chapter 7, full bankruptcy, you can only file Chapter 7 once every 8 years. However, you can almost always file a Chapter 13 case. Chapter 13 cases can be filed immediately following a Chapter 7. They can be filed immediately following a prior Chapter 13 case. Chapter 13 is a reorganization plan, so there will be some type of monthly payment, but it's based on your budget and your ability to afford that payment. So Chapter 13 is an option in almost all cases, even with a prior bankruptcy filing.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. It's our loud local band of the week, Mental Collapse. Killing all the 40 bay, filling bags with gasoline, killing all the people. Killing children, 40 bay, filling bags with gasoline, killing all the people. You've got our loud and local band of the week, Mental Collapse. You want to find out where they're playing, how to get their music? Steve will tell you.
Put out a brand new EP. It's titled EP1, and a couple shows this weekend. Tomorrow night, on Saturday, they're at the Yard in Tacoma, and on Sunday, they're at the Kraken in Seattle.
And if you want more info, just go to the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com. And if you want more local music, well, then you got to get to The Rock on Sunday nights. Because every Sunday night, 8 o'clock, 2 solid hours of great Pacific Northwest music. Bands like Mental Collapse.
Let's play Beat Migs.
I will beat anyone that calls in to play the game.
He's smarter than you. He'll make you look lame. 60 seconds on the clock. You're going down and I'm gonna rock. It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs. Don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs. You're a loser.
It is time for Beat Migs, and we've made it. It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Well, look at that. Danny is jumping. Hey. Getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
Partying.
Partying. Partying? Fun, 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 fun. Looking forward to the weekend. Happy Friday! Yeah. Hope you guys go out there and party, or what was it? Go out and lounge in the sun in your hammock day.
Yes.
Leisure. Yes. Leisurely.
Or just be, rocking by the bars at T-Mobile as the place will be packed, sold out for the bigness.
Sitting on your couch, Tatum, being like, "Go Mariners."
There you go. Exactly.
That works too.
Nice.
Yep.
The leisurely act of watching baseball at home.
Oh, man, if they get 15,
That'd be amazing.
I don't even know what I'll do with myself.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is the weekend. I kind of do know what you're going to do.
Yeah, if I don't show up on Monday, it's because of the Mariners.
Good excuse of planting that seed right away.
Right.
Let's get to our contestant today. We've got Kevin in Bothell. Kevin, are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, Steve, get out of here.
Bye.
For those playing at home, Kevin will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Kevin, you can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Nice. What was the name of the exercise product famously pitched by Suzanne Summers in infomercials?
Thighmaster.
Yes. Japanese horseradish is better known as what?
Kabashi?
No.
Pass.
Finish the title of the Hulu show. Only Murders in the what?
Building.
Yes. What former U.S. president founded the University of Virginia?
Jefferson.
Yes. In which year did Alex Trebek pass away?
2021.
Yes, 20. How much does it cost to buy a railroad in a standard game of Monopoly?
200.
Yes. Ezekiel Elliott plays what position for the Dallas Cowboys?
Running back.
Yes. What does the internet abbreviation SMH stand for?
Pass.
What villain did Willem Dafoe play in Spider-Man?
The father of his friend. I don't know.
Well, technically correct. I'm looking for the name. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 correct.
Oh boy, yeah, that was you. You were on the right track. You just couldn't remember the name, man.
Yep. And I needed the name on that
I hope
one.
I pull this off.
Yeah,
I've only lost to him twice in my whole career. So,
wow! In your Beat Migs career, only lost twice. Wow!
I'm excited, Kevin. This could be a thing.
Could be.
Yeah.
Depends on if Steve's going to extend his winning streak, much like the Mariners here. Which I'd have no idea.
I don't know.
It's like
You kind of stumped me. I'm going for my 15th win.
Well, you
No, he only has a one game.
So
he has a one game winning. Yeah, he has a no game winning streak.
Yeah. Actually, you're not doing great. So
I'm going to start my winning streak tonight.
there you go.
Are you okay?
I'm going to be like the Mariners. I need to have a fight. I'm going to punch Danny.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Well,
I
he is
support
out of everyone. He is the one known to fight. So just pretend you're at a concert.
Yes. You pretend you're in a pit. I'll pretend I'm taking on the Angels.
Let's do this.
Magic will happen.
Are you ready? Yes. What was the name of the exercise product famously pitched by Suzanne Somerson?
Master.
Yes. Japanese horseradish is better known as what?
Wasabi.
Yes. Finish the title of the Hulu show, Only Murders in the What?
House.
No.
Building.
Yes. What former U.S. president founded the University of Virginia?
Al Gore.
No.
He takes credit for everything, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's not even a president.
I know. I'm going to go with Washington.
No.
Jefferson.
Yes. In which year did Alex Trebek pass away?
Which year? 2021.
No.
2020.
Yes. How much does it cost to buy a railroad in the standard game of Monopoly?
125.
No.
100.
No.
150.
No.
Damn it.
Ezekiel
75.
Nope.
Dang.
Ezekiel Elliott plays what position for the Dallas Cowboys?
Running back.
Yes. What does the internet abbreviation SMH stand for?
Shake my head.
Yes. What villain did Willem Dafoe play in Spider-Man?
Two-Face.
No.
Oh, crap. Dr. Octopus.
Nope.
Hovercraft Man. What the hell is his name? Green Goblin.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
No.
You.
Wait, what was the other guy's score?
6.
Okay, doesn't matter.
What? Okay, well, you still win, Steve.
Yeah,
6 to
matter.
8.
Because Hovercraft Man, I would say, is a guess.
Oh, I was sounding it out.
He was figuring it out. Stop being a nitpicker. It's Friday.
I don't like any of this.
That was definitely not my guess.
I protest this entirely.
And he was just figuring it out, and he got there. And sorry, Kevin, you lose anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you can tell everybody.
So that's number 3 in the loss column there for Kevin's career against you, Steve.
Because he's beating you more than he's lost.
Yep. Well,
you're only as good as your last game.
yep. And there you go. And you have won. You started your winning streak now again.
Let's go Mariners.
The only one that you got to that you did miss was how much does it cost to buy a railroad in a standard game of Monopoly? That's $200.
Oh,
Kevin got that one correct.
Man. Well, times they've hit hard times, so they've lowered the price.
Oh, have they?
It's $200?
Yeah. It's always been $200.
No, I'm sure you're right. I just in my head I always picture it cheaper.
The utilities were $150 a pop.
Those are the cheaper ones.
There you go. So there you go. And
Can you name all the railroads?
B&O, Short Line, Reading Railroad, and that's Pennsylvania Avenue. I don't know the last one.
Yeah, I only remember Reading, and I wasn't sure if it's Reading or Reading.
That would be Reading. It's not Reading.
Well, you know what? When you read it, it looks like it's Reading.
Yeah, but if you go to Reading, Pennsylvania...
who's going to go to Pennsylvania?
Well, just saying for a friend.
And Short Line.
Short Line, that's right.
Yeah. Okay,
Short
I thought you said
line.
Short Line.
Yeah,
No, I said
Pennsylvania.
Oh, is there a Pennsylvania
Yeah,
Railroad?
Pennsylvania, B&O,
So you said-
Reading, and Short Line.
Yeah, and I said that there wasn't a Pennsylvania because there's a Pennsylvania,
That's right.
so I was actually correct by being wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the greatest break in the history
Scintillating.
of breaks.
Oh, we've had greater.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Congrats on your win, Steve.
Oh, good job, Stevie. Well, imagine this. Imagine having a neighbor that does all of their yard work completely naked.
Nice.
One neighborhood is dealing with this, and you're going to hear from them at 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Neighbors in a Florida suburb are upset at a nudist couple that lives on their street because they do yard work and other outdoor activities naked.
I hope they play cornhole naked. That's hilarious.
Where's that going?
Wow. Here's the weird thing, man. According to the sheriff's department, it is completely legal. I don't understand how it can be completely legal. And here are a few of the neighbors commenting on how they feel about the situation.
He works on his car, and he does it naked. And, everyone's called the police. But he's just out there doing his yard work. It's whatever he needs to do outside naked.
Have some respect for the neighborhood kids. Kids catch the bus here. I've seen these people actually stand on their front steps, buck naked, both of them, and talk to a police officer. The sheriff's department told me to turn my head.
It's their way of life, and it's on their property, and I know it's legal.
Why are your privates on display? I mean, that's not private at all.
That's a very profound statement right there.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, apparently, according to the deputy, they say, hey, as long as he's not doing anything inappropriate with himself, there's nothing they can do since he's on his own property.
And it's Florida. It's hot out there. I mean,
so here's
too hot for shorts.
Here's the dumb thing. If you watch the news report, they blur it out. So if it's not wrong or illegal, then why the hell does it have to be blurred out on TV? Which makes me think, this is BS. It shouldn't be right. I mean, I feel
or this is BS. They shouldn't blur it out on TV.
Well, listen,
I don't think laws and things that are shown on television go hand in hand.
Actually,
the FCC
television
and stuff, man.
Yeah, exactly. Rev is right. The Federal Communications Commission is part of governmental law that does regulate stuff, so it should be consistent.
But we can't say the S-bomb and the F-word on the air, but we could say it in public and no one's going to arrest us. That's a very strange argument.
There's a difference between federal law and local law.
Yeah, but my point being is that if they should be able to do something. Is my point. My point is they should.
Oh, I don't disagree. I think you should be buck naked in your front lawn. But
that's what I'm arguing for. I'm arguing for the neighbors. I think that
I'm arguing for buck naked on television. I mean, we each have our own cause.
Yeah, I think that and for the very reason, but we can't say this stuff on the air because look, there are people that get to regulate language the way they want, and in public forums they don't want the kind of language that people get to regulate personally. I think it should be the same thing. It's like, look, you know what? We don't want in public nudity. That's kind of what the majority of the people want, is no nudity in public in any way, shape, or form. I don't know how this is that this isn't a law. I don't understand it. I can't believe that they somehow skirted the issue and it's not against the law.
How about though? Here you are. You're thinking, I've had it. These neighbors are naked. I'm calling the cops. This is the final straw. The cops show up. You look out your window. They're having a conversation with the cops buck naked, and then you hear the cops are like, yeah, we just had the conversation. You just have to look the other way because he's not doing stuff to himself.
Build a bigger fence.
Right? I mean, my mind would be blown. I'm like, it's right there. He's talking to the police officer buck naked. They're going to arrest him, and then the cops just leave on their merry way. My mind would have been blown.
Yeah, and it's Florida. That's the other thing where...
Mosquitoes, you don't want a mosquito bite in that area.
Well, there is that,
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, I think, let me tell you.
I think let's go tidy whiteys.
Yeah.
All right, Walter.
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that because it's a small target for me.
Hey-o.
They got bigger fish to fry than to go down there, buddy. So I'm not going to worry about that.
Not enough blood there.
Yeah,
move on.
Yeah, exactly. You know why I have no worries.
Oh my goodness!
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
Well, some neighbors in Florida, in a Florida suburb, are upset at a nudist couple that lives on their street because they do yard work and other outdoor activities naked. Based on this, we want you to finish this sentence. I hate that my neighbor does blank. What is something that your neighbor does? Do we have to put it this way? That drives you nuts. Okay. Did we have to put it that way?
Yes.
I feel like
I couldn't think of a better way to write it.
Yeah, did you? Yeah, you know, I feel like 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. What is something that your neighbor does that drives you nuts? We'll take your calls and your texts after STP on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Wendy's home-style French toast sticks are so delicious, some are saying that they're better than their mom's breakfast.
Excuse me, did you just say Wendy's French toast sticks are better than my breakfast?
Mom, is that you?
Answer the question.
I said some people are saying that because they're so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside and perfect in every way.
Uh-huh. And what do you think?
I think it's time to tell people to choose wisely. Choose Wendy's sweet and crispy home-style French toast sticks.
That's still not an answer.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Some neighbors in the Florida suburb are upset at a nudist couple that lives on their street because they do yard work and other outdoor activities naked. Based on this, finish this sentence. I hate that my neighbor does blank. What is something that your neighbor does that drives you nuts besides, well, those nuts that are seen in Florida?
And speaking of, I would not want to do yard work buck naked.
Like
grass. Why is that?
Grass is really itchy, man.
Oh, I'm just worried that, like, you know, sometimes you're mowing the lawn, you hit a rock and it flies, or an acorn.
Oh, good call.
I mean, the chances of it flying and going right up to it's a very slim to none.
It's not zero.
It's not zero.
Let me tell you, I don't know if you're worried that having clothes on or off is going to lessen the severe pain you get from something like that. I am here to tell you, no, it doesn't. I had clothes on, got hit in the boys. It's the same pain. What? Does it being naked or not naked would not have prevented me, wouldn't have done anything because the clothes didn't do much.
You need to wear a cup, man.
Yeah, that's
I
what
do.
you need, Steve.
I wear nothing but a cup and safety goggles when I mow the lawn.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, HOA hasn't talked to us yet.
Wow. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
206-421-ROCK, text us at 77999. What's something your neighbors does that drives you nuts?
Oh, we got a bunch of texts. One person texted, well, he gets his lawn 3 inches tall before he mows it. Come on, man. We all have beautiful lawns. We all have, get with the program, from Rose in Tacoma.
That's like the neighbor that we've got that they mow their lawn exactly once a summer, and it's right in the middle when it's about a foot high, and right now we're getting back up to about 9 inches, and we don't have an HOA, so I just don't like it.
Dude, that's so infuriating. When I remember in our old development, we don't experience it. Like, everyone in our new development are pretty good about getting their lawns mowed and all that, so it's not an issue. But the old development would be like, nice lawn, nice lawn, nice lawn, a jungle, and then nice lawn, nice lawn. And you're like, how? You see everybody else putting in the work. Why don't you two?
I have to say that I'd be throwing stones and being a hypocrite if I didn't say, like, right now my yard looks good because I'm the owner. But when I used to rent my house that I now own, I was pissed at the rental company. And I thought, okay, this is the only protest I have. I'm on Mercer Island. I feel like they will eventually get pressure from somebody if I let this place start looking like a dump, because I didn't think as a rental company they were doing their job. And I was like, well, screw you. I am not going to help your property look good if you're not going to do your job, which I felt like they weren't doing stuff.
You're like a supervillain, Mr. Bring down the property level man.
Yeah. Angered. I mean, look, and again, I know it's hypocritical. I know it really does hurt the neighbors. I get it. And I do get mad when I see now some neighbors around me. And I'll tell you, the only problems that have ever happened in my neighborhood are on the rental properties. So I wonder if they like me are just pissed at the landlord or the rental company. And that's, you got to wonder, Rev, you know, and you got to wonder with places where you live is like, I wonder if that's a rental.
And it's like a couple of them are rentals. And I know that the landlords will have their own, lawn mowing, landscaping company come through and do it, but it's not all the time. And I think that's something you should. I think if you are renting a property, it's the cost of doing business. You should cover the landscaping as the landlord. I really believe you should. And it irritates me that landlords or rental companies don't do that because, they just go, oh, well, we're not going to do it. And I'm like, well, why should I do it? I'm renting. That's part of renting, is that I don't have to do that crap because I'm renting.
Gee, you
I don't
got to get yourself an agent to work out that deal before you sign that rental agreement, man. The renting agent.
Yeah, the trouble is when you go from an apartment to a house, you just don't think about that until you've already made the deal, and then you're into the house.
That's so funny because when I rented a house, my first thought was when I saw that lawn, I'm like, crap, I got to mow that.
Oh, yeah.
That was just my first thought.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't think that at all. I thought this is cool. One of the benefits of not owning is I don't got to take care of the property. And you're right, Steve. I was ignorant. I didn't realize you actually do. And I totally disagree with that. I think that, you know what? It's part of being a businessman.
Seems like, this seems like a whole business venture now. You could just be a rental agent. Like
That's what I did.
That's a great idea, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
When I left Rochester, I did that.
I'm not doing that. I don't want to deal with other people's crap. That's one of the few gigs. I don't care what you're paying me. I'm not going to have to deal with negotiating.
Ideas, man.
I'll start the business, and you just pay me money to be a part of my business.
Oh, is that
I'll sit back and count the dollars.
Just franchise it out.
Yep.
Yeah, you still have to do a little bit of work to get it going, Steve, but don't worry about it yet. All right. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. We want you to finish this sentence. I hate that my neighbor does blank.
Someone said my neighbors sell meth, and it's pretty irritating. What's the problem with that?
Oh, yeah, that's... Boy, that really...
Oh, if they sold crack, it'd be okay?
What would you do if that all of a sudden happened in the home next to you? I often wonder about that. You know, like you've got your dream house, you've got your place, you got a place you can finally afford. Nowadays, how crazy is this? You could spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, I mean, crazy money on your house, and then all of a sudden you still got a meth house next to you. What would you do?
Oh. You just ignore it, honestly.
I think they do everything in their own house and not,
to start doing meth. I mean, it's easy and accessible.
We lived next to a meth house when I was a kid, and it was just kind of like everyone just kind of ignored and stayed away from that house, but you can't do anything about it.
I mean,
but what happens when the guy with the wheelchair keeps ringing the bell? That makes a lot of noise, and if you don't know Breaking Bad, you don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, I got it.
Buy some of that fake meth, the candy meth that you get in New Mexico, and start selling it too. Be like, hey, if you're going to sell meth, I'm going to sell meth too.
Meth light.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what, Steve? That's how you know what?
I'm sure that would work just great with your meth dealing neighbors.
I'm sure that'd be fine. Yeah, just put out some Girl Scout cookies. You know what? That's the or Oreos. Just start out selling Oreos. Those are harder to kick. So hey, just do that.
That is the bummer, though, when you just have you don't know for sure what your neighbors are like until you live there for an extended period of time.
Dude, I've been so lucky because over the years in this neighborhood, even on Mercer Island, there's been trouble. And man, and again, it was rental. I have to tell you, the trouble has always been rental. And you know, part of me is like, well, I mean, if the landlord was a little nicer, maybe we wouldn't have this kind of trouble. But man, we got lucky. We got young families with kids on either side of us now, and then even a couple of houses down. So it's become a kid neighborhood again. For a while, it was just like Joey and Sarah were the only kids in the neighborhood, and it was just like, I don't know what's going on in these other houses, but it was just like, what is going on?
See, so I weigh the pros and cons with ours, like, because sometimes we're like joking, like sometimes it gets a little much because like our neighbors, they have like I think an entire car dealership, like it's insane, dude. I counted this morning as I was leaving, and it wasn't all their cars; it was 7 cars parked in front of them.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yes. I know I have a few people living, it's multiple family, like, it's like the people who own the home and their mother-in-law lives there and someone else, and now like somebody they met down the block, I think moved in, I don't know. But it was like a ridiculous amount of cars. But my wife like, it just sucks, because the funny part is they park them and there's a giant sign, because like the way our development is set up, there's not supposed to be any parking on the street. So they park their cars in front of a sign, I'm not even kidding, that says no parking here, which I think is kind of hilarious.
That's a little interesting.
Sticking it to the man.
And I'm not going to, I complain with my wife, joke about it on the air. It's not, because I tell my wife, I'm like, if this is our biggest issue with our neighbors, like they're super nice, there's never any like, loud noises, like you don't have to worry about them partying all night long, they got kids. Like this is our biggest issue and yes, it's annoying because you kind of want, that was part of like our appeal of where we moved, like, we don't have to deal with a billion cars in front of our house. But I was like, at the end of the day, like this is a minor problem.
So they're in front of your house.
Well, not right in front of our house, because they were doing that, and then I had to like channel my dad, and I went over, like I legit walked over to their house, knocked on their door, because I'm like, I'm never gonna be I don't complain to HOA, like that's just like, I'm not dealing with that. But I was like, okay, this is getting, so I knocked on the door, I'm like, hey guys, you got to move the car, and at first they looked at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, look, I got no problem with you guys parking all around in front of your home, but if you're parking in front of my house, which you're not supposed to be doing, then we have a problem. And they never did it again.
Oh, you know what? I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least that was cool, but it's still funny. They've got an entire fleet of cars. I'm like, do you need all these cars? Like, what the hell is going on?
Our family were the ones that did that back in the day. Like, my grandpa was a quote unquote mechanic, and he'd work on everybody's car. So he wasn't a licensed mechanic, but he was the one who would fix everyone's cars. And so it was there would just be a constant rotation of cars in front of the house, and I always felt weird about it, but also like no one complain to us. We were just that house, you know.
Yeah, I wish people would be aware, so you wouldn't have to knock on their door. You guys know my street because, as you know, we had a little situation when the party bus tried to get up there.
Yeah.
So, but there are big vehicles that need to get up and down streets. And our buddy, of course, Red knows, being a sanitation engineer, is that those are big vehicles. And so on my street, there's this new set of people, and it's a rental. Yay. And they just want to park their car right in the corner of the street, on the street. And they almost got their car destroyed because the trash people couldn't get into our street. They were trying to, and I'm just like, come on.
Well, I'll probably get them to stop doing it if their car gets hit.
Yeah, and I was hoping it did get hit. I just thought, okay, this car's been there for a while, and it's never been a thing before until these folks moved in. And in the 20 years I've been here, everybody knows you really don't need to park. Do we have to put a sign up there saying don't park at that corner so that people can get in and out of the street? I guess we do. And I just, that's what irritates me is unaware neighbors. Is like, you really aren't, you're that clueless to the fact that you're being this idiot? Okay.
More often than not, I don't think it's anyone being vindictive or being a jerk on purpose. I think they are fully clueless of what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, I do applaud you for not bringing in the HOA because you have that power. So good for you going to the door and actually being a decent human being about it.
Well, they're very nice neighbors. Like, it's not like as if they're jerks. Like, if it got to the point where they're like, F you, we're doing whatever we want, and kept parking in front of me, then I'm okay. Well, now I got to deal with the HOA.
Then you're going to guard naked, and it's going to be just get back.
That's a great idea. Danny, I like your idea. Steve, it's time.
Yeah,
you get to see if Florida laws apply to Washington.
and apparently it's okay here in Washington. So, you know what? No more sprinkler. I'm going out there and just holding the hose.
Yeah.
As it were.
Waving.
Yeah. Okay, so I think if you're not lewd and lascivious, isn't it good anywhere? Is what I take. That's my takeaway, is that as long as you're not doing lewd and lascivious, you can walk around nude. I didn't know, in your own yard. I didn't know that.
Go for that. Find out.
Yeah.
Here I am, the guy that wears it's shirtless in our backyard, but as soon as I go in the front yard to deal with watering the lawn, I put my tank top back on because I'm like, they don't need to see this.
Truth.
Well, see, again, you're a good neighbor.
I try.
A popular football player just offered to pay for the funeral for a fan's grandpa that passed away when he saw that she was trying to sell his jersey to cover the costs. Oh, this is cool. Tell you all about it at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Travis, if you're upside down in your mortgage, should you continue to make the payment?
Continuing to pay your mortgage or not is a complex decision because you're going to have to pay to live somewhere. You're going to have a housing payment. So continuing to make your house payment really depends on several factors. One is whether or not you have a second mortgage. The second one is how affordable your ongoing monthly mortgage payment is. Another issue is whether your mortgage is adjustable and you're facing an increase in your mortgage payments later on when interest rates go up. If you do have a second mortgage in this economy with the housing prices being down, oftentimes we can take off or strip off that second mortgage in a Chapter 13 case so that you'd only have the first mortgage to continue to pay.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.
Wendy's home-style French toast sticks are so delicious, some are saying that they're better than their mom's breakfast.
Excuse me. Did you just say Wendy's French toast sticks are better than my breakfast?
Mom, is that you?
Answer the question.
I said some people are saying that because they're so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside and perfect in every way.
Uh-huh. And what do you think?
I think it's time to tell people to choose wisely. Choose Wendy's sweet and crispy home-style French toast sticks.
That's still not an answer.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. 99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
J.J. Watt may be an Arizona Cardinal now, but he did something pretty cool for a fan of his old team, the Houston Texans.
I keep forgetting that he's now on the Cardinals.
Wow.
Yeah. No, not cool, actually.
No.
Yeah, screw him. I don't care if he did something nice.
Yeah, I mean, now that you're in our division, F you, buddy.
Yeah.
So the other night, a woman tweeted that she was trying to sell her J.J. Watt sneakers and her J.J. Watt Texans jersey because she needed to raise money for her grandfather's funeral. And J.J. got wind of this, and he was like, whoa, okay, I got to figure this out.
And he wasn't like vanity searching himself. Like, she did tag him in the post because she like referred to it as a J. You know, I don't know if she, I mean, maybe she was hoping that he would see it and help out in some way, shape, or form, but it wasn't like he was like sitting around vanity searching himself, looking to see who's talking about him.
Or just retweet it. If he just retweeted it, all of his fans would be like, oh, I want those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, I can't blame her for doing it because, look, you try to get all the help you can get. And, as it turns out, yeah, JJ was able to help out because of the fact she tagged him. And he was like, hey, man, don't sell your shoes and jersey. We'll help with the funeral. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Wow.
And she replied, quote, man, I freaking love you, man. It's been a hard year for me. And this last month has been hard since the death. I wish I could tell you my story.
That's crazy. That's so cool. I mean, it's like one of those moments where it's not probably a lot of money out of his own pocket, but I mean, obviously a lot of money for everyone else, but he didn't have to do that. Or he could have just said, hey, whatever you're selling him for, I'll just give you that money. But the fact that he's willing to chip in or cover the funeral costs is next level.
Yeah, and now I feel like, is he going to get the rest of the story, and will he help out a little more depending on what's going on in her life?
This is the funny part. So I see that, and of course you read the comments, and there's always somebody. There's always a detective out there.
Oh, really?
So somebody was like, JJ, don't help her out because someone like went through her past posts over the course of her life, and apparently she tried to sell the jersey or sell a jersey for another funeral in the past, and there's like people like being like, I don't think she's telling the truth. And long story short, it looks like she is because she even said, hey, you guys can call somebody even went to the funeral. Like, they're like, what's your grandfather's name? It's so funny how people become detectives on social media. And she's like, this is the guy's name. And like, I just typed in the name in the funeral home and it doesn't show up. And they had a screenshot. It's like, well, call and, they'll confirm it. And someone did call and confirmed it. So it was like, but what a weird thing. Someone even said, hey, maybe she is a scammer, but maybe this time actually there was a death in her family and like she's not trying to scam anyone.
But whatever happened to the boy who cried wolf? I feel like if she really is a scammer, I agree. I agree with the person that did the detective work. If she's been scamming and this time it's legit, it's like, well, there's a lesson in that if you're a scammer.
Or maybe she's not a scammer, but this is just her go-to whenever times are tough. She tries and sell things. You know what I mean? Like maybe she had multiple J.J. Watt jerseys. I mean, it's just...
Yeah,
before we jump to now. Well, they did call the funeral home, and there is a person by that name that did pass away, and they are taking donations at the funeral home. She's not taking the donations personally. So
I will tell you this.
What's that? Do you think she made up a fake funeral home as well?
No, look, I get that people have problems. Steve, and maybe it's just the, my life and what I grew up with. There are people that always have problems. You should here's my story. Here's what's going on. And then upon further review, you realize just how much of it they brought on themselves and how much misery they've caused people around them. That's where I'm like, like that dude doing the detective work. It's like there are people that don't have as many problems because they're more responsible and they also don't cause misery to others. Now, I don't know if that's this woman, but I can understand the skepticism of a human being because I'd be that same guy. I'd be like, all right.
So you're going to spend all day on social media reading someone's past posts to try and prove that they're lying when they're not?
Yeah,
while they're dealing with the loss of a grandfather and their times are so tough, they're selling things on their own property to cover a funeral? Like that.
Do you forget who you're talking to?
Yeah, you were arguing with a bot yesterday on Facebook.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, I was.
Are you serious?
I didn't know
all
it was a
morning
bot.
long.
I had no idea it was a bot.
You did know it was a bot. We told you it was a bot.
We told you it was a bot. You even contacted the person's significant other who said, yeah, her Facebook page was hacked.
Yes.
That is a bot. And you continue to have an argument with the bot.
Yeah, I did. I was like, you're being reported, pal.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna tell the authorities on you. And the bot would reply with, hello.
Yeah, then at that point, I knew then I was like, I guess this is really a bot. I didn't believe you guys. I thought, you know what? I've really got somebody on the other line who's trying to scam me, and I'm going to show them.
I love that. Like
showing them.
And
they showed you. You just wasted all of your time with this.
And I love that he didn't believe us. He's like, hey, you guys, is this? Yes, we're telling you it's a bot. We know.
2 hours
I don't believe
later,
you.
Confirmation, it is a bot. Yes.
Yeah. Like we told you.
Well, yeah, but I didn't believe you guys.
Don't
Sorry.
ask us if you're not going to believe us.
Well, I mean, listen,
True.
I'm getting information. I can ask you. I don't necessarily always have to believe your answers. I'm getting information.
That's fair also.
But you also never believe the answer.
But I thought that was the funniest thing ever. I look over and you're just like threatening this bot, and all they responded with was, I think one time was a hello, and the next time was yes. I was like, this is so great.
And here's the thing, dude. I forgot. Like my friend that I contacted said, I told you this 3 months ago that account got hacked, and I'm like, well, yeah, you're right. But they contacted me 3 months ago. Then they stopped. And then here it is 3 months later. They tried again with the same thing. So this bot apparently, I guess, makes its rounds. Yeah. So
whenever I get like a weird message on Facebook or Instagram or wherever, a direct message from one of my friends, and it makes no sense, I just ignore it. And I'm like, you know what? In a few hours, I bet they're going to put up a post saying that their account was hacked.
Yep.
And every time that's what happens.
Yeah, you're a better man than me.
Like, click on this link. I'm like, I'm not clicking on that
BJ,
link.
please tell me you didn't click on any links.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think there are any links sent.
I know what's up. That's why I reported them and went to Facebook and said, "Hey, block and destroy and crush, kill, whatever you got to do to this stupid bot.
Exterminate."
Yeah, exactly. You know what?
You're so like my dad with this, because he will do that as well. He will spend all day arguing with a bot, and he's like, I'm getting the last word. I don't care. And like, no, you won't. Whenever you reply, they'll automatically send you something else. They will forever get the last word. This will go on until you die.
It is the sadness of me knowing where I am in life, because, you guys get it, doesn't bother you that much, and it's totally generational. I think that, I don't know if I'll be around, Steve, but when you hit your 60s, and I probably won't be around for when Vicky and Danny hit their 60s.
9 years after that, I'm having the greatest party ever had.
I know.
Hell yeah.
But when you get there, and every old person says this, you will understand. You'll understand when you go, wow, the world doesn't care about things the way they used to. They, you guys have your own things that you feel are important, and things that you go, I'm not going to waste my time on, which is completely different than what I think is important. And I have to make the adjustment because, look, the world is what the world is. But it's sad for me because I'm like, if this happened 20 years ago, or 30 years ago, maybe, then my actions would have been legitimate. But now you guys go, your actions are useless. Why bother?
I don't know if it's generational, though. My mom, gets bots all the time, and she just asked me, is this real? And I'm like, no. And she's like, all right, cool. And then moves on with her day.
Yeah.
Does she not care about just the way anything in life, like customer service, how business is done, things like that, where I find that everywhere I expect life to be based on my worldview growing up is different, and I have to make that adjustment. It's that kind of a thing where I just feel like Facebook should do a better job. Somebody should go hunt these bots down. Somebody should.
You should be the bot hunter.
I would love to be the bot
hunter. I would watch
that
show.
Start that business.
Yeah. Instead of the bounty hunter, I'll be
bot hunter.
Dog the bot hunter.
No, you're BJ the bot hunter. Don't give that guy any credit. He doesn't need that.
Yeah, right?
This is your thing, not dogs.
All right. So there you go.
Jeez, BJ.
Well, listen, I'm sorry. Boy, I didn't realize I ruined the branding thing for you. Wow.
So sorry, honey. I'm not like that. Uncle Doug is so sorry for this.
I just figure, maybe he and I could team up. What's he doing these days?
I mean, he's bounty hunting. You're a bot hunter. These are two different things, man.
Yes. You're both pursuing justice.
Man argues with robots on Facebook all morning long. But
I am, that is what gets me, is that whole internet scamming thing. I really, honestly, Steve, this is where I am not like Mr. Love and peaceful and let's embrace all. If I found any of those folks that do the bot thing, whoever set it up, I would death penalty for that guy. There would be no argument.
It's so nice. Someone even said my friend had to make a new Facebook because he was informed someone in Russia hacked his account and changed his password. And I've had that. One buddy, his band page got hacked. He can't get back into it.
That
sucks. They hacked it. They changed the name, and all it does now though is shows really weird advances in technology. That's now the page. It's very odd. So I continue to follow it because I'm it's fascinating. Well, there
you go. I show support for something.
I had another buddy who's a wrestler who apparently his fan page got hacked, but the person who hacked it is promoting the upcoming event that he's wrestling in. So they basically hacked his page to promote his, like, to be his PR person. And so he's like, I kind of want to, like,
what?
I want to shut it down, but they're doing better work than I was doing. I was terrible at promoting my stuff, and this person's promoting things.
Sir, you're hired.
Right.
Without having to pay them.
So he's like, until they cross the line, I think I'm just going to let it go.
That's insane.
People are weird,
it's
man.
like a good Samaritan
People
bot.
are weird.
Yeah, maybe they just always had this, like, this desire to be a wrestler, but didn't. So then they're like, I'm going to hack this person's and just do the things that wrestlers do, and that's promote their events. I don't get it.
Makes me, now the detective in me thinks it's somebody that knows him.
What if it's just him and he just doesn't want to look like he's self-promoting?
I'd be so pissed.
That would be funnier.
That's brilliant.
I'd give him so much credit.
Oh, I got to ask him next time I see him. I don't know when he's going to be in town, but when he's in town, I'm going to be like, dude, is it just really you and you're just effing with us?
It has to be. It's so improbable that somebody would hack a guy's page and then continue to promote the, like, it's the...
You know, crazier things have happened on social media.
Yeah, but that makes no sense to me. I think it's him.
What I do have to say, though, I think for anyone who, if you're on any account that allows you to do, like, the phone number verification thing, I know it's an extra step, but always take advantage of that.
Yeah.
The email verification one, like the other day I got from my Facebook page, on both of them, the work one, the personal one, where it was just like, boom, here's your new access code. And I'm like, didn't ask for one. Apparently someone was trying to get into my account. Thank goodness I had that.
Yeah, somebody keeps trying to hack into my Xbox Live account, and it'll just be like, well, they don't have the right password, so here's the code. If you didn't ask for it, don't worry about it.
Right.
And it's like, literally, it's somebody who's using a Mac, and I never use a Mac, on the East Coast. So I'm like, well, definitely not me.
Yeah,
so,
mine was like someone in Russia tried to get on there. Of course.
Look at you.
It was probably Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, yeah.
The Cold War, baby. The Cold War.
Yeah.
If it dies, it dies. We got a well-known celebrity that just shared the hottest take of all time. That s'mores are trash.
Ooh. Here we go.
You're going to hear his reason why at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Conan O'Brien did a recent episode of his podcast around a campfire.
Oh, that's brilliant. We should do that.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us really want to go camping together, though.
Yeah,
Not together, but just camping in general.
Unless someone's got a really good RV set up.
Right, there you go, yeah.
I call that my wife's type of camping. She's like, we should start doing camping stuff. I'm like, what do you mean by camping? With like a tent? She's like, no. Like we get like an RV or
Don't they call
cabin.
that glamping?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Glamping.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Glamping.
Yeah, that's what I did last weekend. As a matter of fact, I was like, we'll go to the inn, we'll go hiking around trees and stuff like that, but we'll be at a place that's got electricity.
Right. That's what I was like with my wife. I'm like, do you want to camp somewhere where you can't take a shower? She's like, absolutely not. I was like, camping in a tent is a terrible idea.
Yeah. So that's what Conan did. He was like, we'll do our podcast around a campfire. And Conan ended up getting into an argument about s'mores with his co-hosts. And here's Conan sharing why he thinks that s'mores are a terrible snack.
I think they're terrible. I just think that it's a flawed concept. And I do believe people like s'mores because they think they're supposed to. It's kind of enforced recreation, enforced joy. But people don't really like, hey, here's a graham cracker, here's a not very well melted marshmallow, and a piece of inferior chocolate. Let's jam them all together and chomp it. There's often nothing to drink with s'mores. I always see kids stuffing this roof tile down their mouth. No, delicious. They do it because they've been instructed by the man that this is what they're supposed to do, but they don't really like it.
He's crazy.
No, I agree with him.
So bad.
I agree with him 100%.
You don't like s'mores?
Worst candy. Worst thing ever.
This is the worst take ever.
Nope.
I don't know.
Well, Danny doesn't.
Brad, what do we do with
He
Danny?
doesn't like sweets. Can you go with Danny? He doesn't like desserts.
Shoot him out of a cannon.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's better than what I was thinking. At least he still lives. So yeah, let's do that.
Let's see how that works out.
And now, if you're using an inferior chocolate, unless he's taking a shot at the famous chocolate that's always used with s'mores.
Yeah, like the Hershey bar. Like, come on, you need to use that.
The basic Hershey bar is awesome.
But you can do so much with it now.
Yeah, is he too fancy and he just doesn't like the regular Hershey's chocolate, and that's the shot he's taking?
And I think success got to his head.
And yeah, because here's the deal: like, you can do so much with s'mores. Like at the barbecue that we had earlier this month, we had a s'more station set up, and you not only have the Hershey bars, which are fantastic, but you have the now Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Thins.
Yep.
They have the thinner ones that work perfectly for that. Some people do like the Heath bars, like I do, so we add those in as well. And it just sounds like he doesn't even know how to cook a marshmallow at this point.
Right. He probably just puts it around in a fire and turns charcoal black.
So oh man, it's just.
I mean, you can incorporate bacon into your s'mores. Some people have done that.
Yeah, if you're super fancy.
Which is, I mean, I'm not.
Okay, but you're getting fancy at this point. If
why
we're
not?
going with
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I'm saying that those ones you're amping it up, and the s'mores are fine. If you just do the standard s'more, they're terrible.
No, I disagree.
Yeah, I still
Chocolate,
disagree.
marshmallow, and a graham cracker is a great combination.
And I'm a sucker for when the marshmallow gets a little cold, so it gets kind of hard and crunchy-ish. Like,
It helps.
burn it the right. Oh,
It helps
I love
a little
it.
bit, yeah.
What about
it's got to be done well. It really has to be done well, or it can come off bad.
Well, yeah, if you F up the marshmallow and it's just kind of falls apart into the gooey mesh, it's burning your fingers, like that's obviously not a fun experience. But if you know how to do it, man, somebody just posted out that they said I do it with cookie butter. Like put some cookie butter on the s'more.
Ooh, and that'll
That
keep
sounds
everything
interesting.
stuck together too.
That sounds amazing.
That sounds
It's a good flavor combo because you actually taste everything. And I think that's probably, I don't know if Conan's missing that, but, you know, it is hard to get sweet stuff all combined so that you still can taste it. And so the sweetness in the Hershey chocolate, the sweetness in the marshmallow, and the sweetness in the graham cracker, they're all such different flavors that you still get them. Like not one overpowers the other, which is why I think it is a favorite treat because, like you said, Steve, they really go well together. You don't lose the flavors.
And it's the whole experience of sitting by a campfire, like the whole process of making it is a lot of fun. Somebody says, yeah, I agree with Conan. Too expensive to make, too sweet, no other flavor. It's like shoving sugar down your throat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I can't argue with that.
I'm not going to argue with that.
That is a correct assessment.
Ooh, you can make it healthy. One texter said put a slice of strawberry on your s'more. And I've actually seen that where like you work some berries on the s'more.
Well, is that in addition or you take something off?
No, in addition. Like a chocolate-covered strawberry.
Okay, that's like saying, hey, you know what? Why don't you have a bag of M&Ms? If you want to get healthy, throw a piece of broccoli in that bag of M&Ms. I mean, that's not going to make it healthier. You're still eating a lot of
joking about it being healthy.
I thought the texture
got worked up over the craziest stuff.
I thought the texture did it, so I just wanted to tell the texture.
Yells at everything today.
Well, I thought the texture was in denial, like thinking they were getting healthier. Like you're not getting healthy.
That other than you.
Well, there are people that do
Nobody thinks adding a strawberry to a s'more makes it healthy.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what? I totally thought that person thought that. So you're right. You got me on that.
Ooh, how about salted caramel s'mores? And you drizzle a little caramel on it and then some salt.
Yeah, but I don't want to get healthier, so I'm not going to do that.
Fair.
Yeah, not going to do that.
Another person said I make Samoa cookie s'mores where you put a little coconut into it.
Oh, that.
Oh, that's not bad.
Sorry, I just faded out there.
Let me think about it. Samoa cookie s'mores along with everything else.
Or if you use it instead of the graham cracker.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Rev. And actually, Rev, you use that instead of the chocolate. I think you just throw the marshmallow on that.
Ooh, yeah.
That's for a lazy person.
Well, it's got chocolate already on there.
Yeah,
and
it's got all the stuff already there. Yeah, I see where you're going.
Yeah, because you don't want to lose the flavors of everything else. So I think the Samoa and the marshmallow, that could be a winning combo.
The one that I'm looking at this website and they offer up, and I'm totally down for this one. It's the Elvis s'mores. So it's peanut butter, banana, so it's healthy, BJ.
Okay.
Bacon. Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, then.
Chocolate-covered pretzel s'mores, so instead of just using chocolate, you use chocolate-covered pretzels.
Oh, man.
Well, see, at that point, is that a s'more anymore?
Yeah, sure. It's still chocolate graham.
Oh, you're still keeping the graham? Wow.
Yes.
And let's see, the pretzel's in there with the salt. I feel like you might lose the graham cracker if you throw the pretzel in.
Oh, it's salty and sweet right there.
I mean, I'm not arguing with Rev. I think salty and sweet's good. I just think maybe... I don't know if you taste the graham cracker anymore because again, that flavor combo is so important. I still think
I'm willing
s'more.
to try it for science.
How about replacing the graham cracker with a Rice Krispie treat and have a Rice Krispie treat s'more?
You know what? Then I might be in. Yeah,
we got Danny.
You know what? I think
We got Danny.
Graham crackers just kind of taste like cardboard to me, so I think that's mostly my issue.
Oh, you don't like graham crackers?
That's why s'mores are great, Danny. You're right.
Graham crackers, and I'm not a big, and you know I'm not a big chocolate fan. So for me, it's like those two things. I don't. The marshmallow's fine, but if you do the Rice Krispie treat, I think I might be in.
How about this one? Replace the chocolate with Kit Kats and have Kit Kat s'mores.
That's
so
not.
good,
Well, that's interesting because there's a cookie part of the Kit Kat. As long as it doesn't take away from the graham cracker, I support that.
I'm in for all of these.
And with the Rice Krispie s'more, what are you just going to do? You're just going to basically just throw chocolate on there?
What the person did, at least in the picture, they took like the little candy size Hershey's, like the Halloween size Hershey's.
Oh, right.
2 of them on top of a Rice Krispie treat. Then a bunch of then the marshmallow, and then another piece of Rice Krispie treat on top of it. So it looks like they have the Rice Krispie treats.
Wow,
so
that's a marshmallow overload because obviously that's what you make Rice Krispie treats with, or with marshmallow.
Yeah, but it looks amazing, and I bet it tastes just as amazing.
Because I'd like to try the Rice Krispie treat and just the 2 Hershey chocolates by itself, s'mored up, and then melt it and see how that goes.
Oh, so eliminate the marshmallow and just use the marshmallows as the treat?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I'll try that first, and then we'll see if we need more marshmallow.
But you need that hot marshmallow on top to melt the chocolate.
Yeah, the hot
marshmallow. Oh, I thought the hot marshmallow from the treat might melt it, but you know what, Steve? I'm not going to argue with more sweet. I won't argue with it.
Well, the marshmallow won't be hot unless you freshly made the Rice Krispie treat.
Well, when you put it over the fire.
Oh, yeah, you could put it back over the fire.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you do, right? You take that Rice Krispie treat and put it over the fire.
Now I want to do it.
You do what you want.
No, I really want to do that.
Rev.
I really want to do that.
You know what Rev's going to be doing tonight?
We're going to get on the group chat, and all of a sudden there's the Rev making s'mores.
Yep.
I'm going to smoke those Rice Krispie treats.
And I don't know which came first. I'm assuming the graham cracker. That's what Danny calls it. I'm assuming the graham cracker came first, but what a revolution. I mean, what a revolutionary creation for someone to make that graham cracker edible. At the point that when they created, whoever first created
I love graham crackers.
Oh,
I've always liked graham crackers.
I can just eat them just raw.
Oh, my dad had them.
I don't know, just by themselves.
Oh, fair.
And they by themselves, no. But if you s'more them up, I can take them with a s'more, but just by themselves, they need something, man.
I think they're delicious.
They do get a little...
Like the honey-made ones?
They get a little dry by themselves, but I could eat the crap load of the Teddy Grahams, which are the same thing. They're just in Teddy shape, and for some reason, that's fine.
Graham cracker and a little peanut butter?
Yeah,
about it.
Yes.
Well, then if you're putting something on the cracker. I'm with you. If you put something on the cracker, it's better.
But I'll still eat it just without peanut butter.
Yeah,
that way it's healthier.
I would.
I think the s'more is the greatest creation because it made graham crackers tolerable. Because I don't think for me, they don't do anything on their own. They need help.
You know the whole story with Kellogg and cornflakes, the reason why cornflakes were created?
They didn't want Danny to be created.
What's the story, Vicky?
This is legit.
Wikipedia.
The guy who invented cornflakes did it because he believed foods that were high in flavor, spices, sugars, and stuff would give you urges, if you will, to do stuff to yourself or other people.
Viagra?
Yeah.
All right.
So that's what he believed.
It basically.
So he invented cornflakes as a bland food to give, to children and stuff, so none of that would happen. But the guy who created graham crackers, it was the same thing.
There are a lot of human beings. Oh, really? The graham is supposed to make you not...
Because it's so bland. It's just another food to give to kids. Granted, back in the day, it didn't have as much sugar as it does now, cornflakes or graham crackers. But originally, graham crackers and cornflakes were invented to not make you horny.
So that's why I have stiffy issues, is because of graham crackers.
Yeah,
I eat them every day.
You need to cut down on the graham cracker
I gotta
intake.
cut that
I could
down.
save all that money on all those pills?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Graham crackers.
My weekend is set.
Mind blown.
The information that gets stuck in our minds sometimes.
Yeah.
The fact that you were able to rattle that off, Vicky, is impressive to me.
Right.
I failed a lot of my college courses before I dropped out. The one class I did not fail was human sexuality, and that's where I learned this.
That makes sense.
And then, frankly, I was going to say, of course, it's about sex. Vicky's going to remember this. There are cultures, there are religions that tried the same thing. When I was part of the Hare Krishnas, they did not want us to have onions and mushrooms because they thought those would be making you want to have sexy time. And celibacy was a big part of at least the part of the Hare Krishnas.
Nothing gets me more worked up than some sweet onion breath.
Yeah, I know, dude. I don't know why that onions were considered, a thing to make you get worked up. But human beings coming up with ways to stop human beings from basically wanting to procreate, perhaps just like the dumbest endeavor ever in humanity, is like, you really can't stop humans from wanting to do what they got to do, which is keep the people going.
Well, the reason why, it's guilt is a powerful thing. If you can make them feel bad about it, then you can control them, because sex is power. Another thing
Yes, well, that's what, fear, guilt, all that, Vicky, not exactly the best human situation that has been created. You're right about that.
Not at all.
And strawberries, we found out, makes everything better and healthy.
The dingleberries at T-Mobile Park are the healthiest thing you can eat.
Yes, they are. I mean, don't even try the crickets. Go for the dingleberries. There you go. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
What car manufacturer makes the Legacy and the Impreza?
Honda.
No.
Nissan.
No.
Toyota.
No. Almost
No,
off me
sir.
there, man.
It was the Subaru.
Subaru, baby.
You want a shot at beating Steve? 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 847 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's a question from a listener. My house is currently in foreclosure. I've stopped making payments. What can I do to save my house?
If you're already in foreclosure behind on your mortgage, you can stop the foreclosure by filing a bankruptcy. There's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 can help you catch up on your house payments if you're behind. It would mean that you'd have to start making your house payments again and catch up on the amount that you're behind over 5 years. You could also take off or strip off your second mortgage, which would help you to reduce your housing payment every month, especially once you're done with the plan and done catching up on your first mortgage. We could also try to buy you some time by filing a Chapter 13 case. Filing a Chapter 13 would definitely stop your foreclosure.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. We get our local, you know what I'm trying to say, our loud and local band of the week. And this week, it's Mantle Collapse. It's our loud and local band of the week, Mantle Collapse. Hey, I think I just got that. Instead of like mental collapse, it's mantle collapse.
Oh, how about that? Well, depending on how you say it, it might even just sound like mental collapse. But it's mantle collapse.
Hey, look at this. See?
Mantle.
Yeah. You want info, you can go to the BJ Migs page of KISW.com, or Steve can just tell you.
Mantle collapse.
Mantle.
Get their EP. It's available now, or see them live. Tomorrow night, they're over at the Yard in Tacoma, and then on Sunday night, they're at the Kraken in Seattle.
And if you're loving local music, you're going to love Sunday nights on The Rock. It is loud and local, a 2-hour show starting at 8 o'clock, giving you great local music. Bands like Mantle Collapse.
Let's play Beat Migs.
I will beat anyone that calls in to play the game. He's smarter than you. He'll make you look lame. 60 seconds on the clock. You're going down and I'm gonna rock. It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs. Don't be a loser. Whoa! Beat Migs. You're a loser.
It is time for Beat Migs, and we've made it. It's Friday. Gotta get down. Yeah, he is.
Friday, everybody.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Just like a juggalo. Go out there and party like ICP if you want to.
Woo, woo.
Yeah. Let's get to our contestant today. We got Chris in Tacoma. Chris, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, guys.
Excellent.
Oh, boy. Let me tell you, man, I've been having one heck of a morning.
Oh, wow.
What happened?
Yeah. Supposed to be going camping this morning, and woke up, the bathroom's flooding. Had to go run, shut off. Tell me about it, man. Shut off the water. Got my landlord here fixing it, so yeah, put a little damper on things.
Are you going to still get to go camping?
Yeah, it's just going to be delayed. Hopefully no one takes your spot.
Well, the nice part is at least you can poop in the woods and not have to worry about plumbing.
Exactly right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, Steve. Get out of here. Get out. For those playing at home, Chris will have 60 seconds, sploosh, to answer 10 questions. Chris, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
What common cooking ingredient gets its name from the French words meaning sour wine?
Dough.
No.
Pass.
Who co-starred with Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon?
Danny Glover?
Yes. In a symphony orchestra, what instrument is played by the concertmaster?
Pass.
Harrison Ford was dubbed People's Sexiest Man of the Year in what late 90s year?
6, 7, 8.
7, yes. How many years in length is a U.S. Senator's term?
4.
No.
5.
No.
8.
No. Which celebrity is known for her messy divorce with Brad Pitt?
Angelina Jolie.
Yes. If you give something up for Lent, how many days are you going without?
40.
Yes. Who played opposite Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic?
Who played opposite? Pass.
When it comes to the internet, what does WWW stand for?
World Wide Web.
Yeah! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correct.
Right down the middle.
Yep.
It's better than I thought.
Hey, and you know
I feel
what?
like his chances of winning, though, are underwater.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I just need something to put me in a good mood, guys.
Well, there we go.
Hopefully that did it for you, buddy.
Yep, and hopefully, well, and maybe if Steve, beats you, you'll be in a better mood.
I know, man.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to my guys at Cedar Creek as Bruiser. Keep holding it down, 6'6".
Nice.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Steve, are you ready?
Whoop, whoop.
What common cooking ingredient gets its name from the French words meaning sour wine?
Olive oil?
No.
Butter?
No.
Rosé?
No. Who co-starred with Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon?
Danny Glover?
Yes. In a symphony orchestra, what instrument is played by the concertmaster?
The stick?
No.
Oh. The drums?
No.
The flute?
No. Harrison Ford was dubbed People's Sexiest Man of the Year in what late 90s year?
99?
No.
98?
No.
97?
Yes. How many years in length is a U.S. Senator's term?
2?
No.
4?
No.
6?
Yes. Which celebrity is known for her messy divorce with Brad Pitt?
Angelina Jolie?
Yes. If you give something up for Lent, how many days are you going without?
40?
Yes. Who played opposite Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic?
Jake Gyllenhaal?
No.
Gwyneth Paltrow?
No.
Danny V?
No. When it comes to the internet, what does WWW stand for?
World Wide Web?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. Steve, you squeaked by 6 to 5.
That's close, Chris. So close, buddy.
Oh, man, that was good. That was good, guys.
That was a good close one right
Have
there.
a great camping, buddy.
Yeah, right, guys. Take care.
Hey, well, before you go, are you going to make s'mores while you go camping?
Oh, good call.
You know it, man. Got the sticks and all.
Nice.
That's right. Well, don't bring Conan with you. Conan O'Brien ain't going to dig that, man.
Yeah, have a great weekend.
There we go.
participate because I don't want to make the song worse than it has to be.
Oh, you want to. It's getting so bad right there. Does anybody happen to know the common cooking ingredient that gets its name from the French words meaning sour wine?
Vinegar.
Yeah, vinegar.
Because vinegar is technically wine.
Yep. It's sour wine. In the symphony orchestra, I know.
Like how you were like, oh yeah, okay, never mind.
Yeah, exactly. What instrument is played by the concertmaster? And Steve, with the stick thing, you were thinking conductor.
Conductor.
So that's
the flag.
The flag.
What is marching band?
I'm like, there's a in a symphony orchestra.
I don't know what the concertmaster is.
I'm either thinking the gong or the triangle.
You'd be wrong on both. Yes, no, it's the violin. Because concertmaster is also first chair, which is the violinist.
Oh, wow. I thought first chair just meant whoever is best at every instrument, but that's only for violin.
Sure.
Okay, so
don't quote me on that. Yeah.
All right.
Throwing out other words out here now.
Well, I mean, because I don't know a lot about it, but I didn't know first chair just meant for violins if they're the concertmaster.
And then Danny, who played opposite Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic?
Kate Winslet.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I was thinking Kate Beckinsale, but
that'd make it hotter.
Well, you had an English Kate. They're both English, so good for you.
Yeah, exactly. That and an iceberg would have melted because she's so hot.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, sorry. Inside voice. Congratulations, Steve, on your win. Thank you.
Good job, Steve. All right, we got the food blog, The Takeout. They just released a list of 10 foods and drinks that cause arguments every time they're mentioned.
S'mores.
Yeah, right?
It's funny. I do not see s'mores on this list, surprisingly. Oh. But, Conan's got a very bizarre take on s'mores basically being a tool of the man.
Yeah, because Conan and Danny are the only two people that think s'mores are trash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, number one on this list, boy, I would think number 5 would be number 1, but I can see why number 1 is number 1.
A pineapple on pizza.
That's number 5, Danny.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's pretty much just pizza and any toppings. That's what causes the most arguments, but pineapple seems to be the big one, obviously.
I've been thinking a lot about the whole pineapple on pizza argument because I believe in pineapples on pizza. I love them. Especially I get like a barbecue pizza and I put pineapple on it. Forget about it.
Yeah.
But I am not a fan of the Hawaiian. I think it's the Canadian bacon that is. I really think that Canadian bacon dodged a bullet, and everyone's crapping on pineapples, but it's really the Canadian bacon that sucks on
really?
In my opinion.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'd rather get pineapple and bacon on a pizza as a topping than Canadian bacon.
I'd rather do pineapple.
No offense, Canada.
Yeah, I'd rather do pineapple and pepperoni.
My friend Chris, who's the Avalanche fan in Denver, he likes to troll me as well with the pineapple on pizza thing, and he sent me a picture of a pulled pork pizza he had with full rings of pineapple on it.
See, I think that's going to be great because you get the barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce and pineapple is a good.
Yeah, and that's like a luau in your mouth right there.
You know it.
I don't know. I still can't get on board with it.
Oh, well, because Danny, I'm going to take you to that new place called Pizza Twist, which is the one I know is in Issaquah, but I think they have a couple of them around. And it's an Indian take, and that would be Eastern Indian take on pizza, as well as different American foods fused together with Indian spices and curries and stuff. And I'm interested to see how that pizza goes. But,
agreed.
I think a lot of people will be like, what? No way am I going to put any sort of curries or masala on my pizza. That's not going to happen, but I'm ready to give it a shot. So that's number 5. What do you think number 1 is? We as far as what people complain about and have arguments over food.
Anchovies. No.
Everyone agrees.
Which is usually only on pizza.
Oh man, that's a good question. Like what to argue over.
My brother and I have actually got into an argument at a restaurant, like where we were raising our voices because I was so passionate. How you cook your steak.
That's a
He ordered well done. I was like, are you kidding me? Eat your boot then.
I'm sorry, but you get the Family Feud buzzer on that one. It was not on the list.
Oh, wow. Does he get an A1 steak sauce with it?
Yes.
That cracks me up. It's like, I want this thing cooked to the point where it's so dry that I need some sauce as opposed to not cooking it to the point where it's so dry where it would be juicy and delicious just as its own.
The only excuse to eat A1 with your steak is if the steak isn't that great, then sure.
If you're going to kind of like a sketch place where you're really like, okay, I'm getting it well done because I don't trust your cook, but also give me the A1 steak sauce because A1 steak sauce is delicious.
Yes, I put it on a lot of other stuff besides
Burgers.
steak. Yes. And fries.
I got one.
Would you put it? Oh, yeah. What you got?
Arguing over condiments on you bring up burgers. Like people get all weird when you want to put like mustard on it or mayo or something along those lines. Or hot dogs.
Or ketchup on a hot dog.
One.
Yeah.
Ketchup on the hot dog is for children.
That's the one.
I'm a child then.
Yeah,
okay,
burgers,
fair enough.
kiss
hot
my
dogs, hot dogs and their toppings. That's the number one thing people fight about.
Dude, I had a moment where I felt like it was like kind of like cathartic because I was at a wrestling event at Defy, and Eddie Kingston, who wrestles for All Elite Wrestling, was there, and he's from New York, and so the promoter, Matt Farmer, he's like, hey, you got Steve's from New York too, and like we instantly just went down. Reminisce about New York things, about the 80s Yankees. I'm like, this feels so good to like talk about Dave Rigetti with somebody and he knows what I'm talking about. Wow. And then I looked at it and go, hot dogs. You know what I'm talking about with that onion, the red sauce and onions. And his eyes lit up. He's like, nobody knows about it other than if you're in New York. I can't describe it. It's like a watered down marinara with onions on it that are grilled. Oh. And it's delicious. But you can't, I don't know if you can't get it anywhere else, but it's known in New York. That's a thing that you get. And that was the only way I would eat my onions. It was delicious.
Somebody's got to have that around here somewhere.
I bet they do.
They've got to.
But it's not something that people know about. Like, a lot of people, when I bring it up here on like, Danny's reaction, like, ooh. Yeah. It doesn't sound terrible, but it's just not something that's around. Yeah, Vicky found a picture of it. It just looks like onions that have been sitting in marinara sauce.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
It's so good.
Yeah, because that's just, you can't even see the hot dog. The bun is just totally enveloped pretty much by those onions.
And it's just a great combo.
I got another. All right, I have another maybe argument, and I'm just thinking of flavors at this point. How about like chicken wings? Because I always get an argument of like what we should order. Like
number 3, Danny, buffalo wings, number 3, and that's really the best places to get them as opposed to what you should put on them.
And we're not talking boneless, right? That's a whole other argument.
That's a whole
I mean, this is just
that's not an argument. That's
it is B-Dubs Buffalo Wild Wings, which of course is the legend says they are wings.
They're doing it to appeal to the mass audience of idiots. I get it. I mean,
you can say whatever you want to say.
I don't blame them. It's a smart business tactic to endear yourself to the dummies.
I would change my mind if B-Dubs said they weren't, but apparently they're the experts.
They're chicken nuggets. That's all.
I'm not going against the experts.
When it goes to flavors, I will always, when I'm out with Danny, I will defer to him when it comes down to wing flavors because he is very solid when it comes down to that. I don't like your pizza tastes, but like with chicken wings, you are the man.
You know what's funny is that because of Buffalo Wild Wings, I fell in love with their dry rub, the seasoning where it's like they don't even
the best.
Right, but there's some people that get like, it's not wings if they're not sloppy, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, have you tried the dry rub? Because yes, I agree. I love sloppy, saucy wings too, but dude, those dry rubs, especially like the salt and vinegar one, I think it is, and like the regular buffalo dry rub, it's amazing.
Nice. Yeah.
And sometimes it's nice not to have your hands just covered in sauce.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I think we should just flag that. I like that out of context.
And the ranch sticks to them better if they're dry as opposed to wet.
Or blue cheese.
There. Ooh, okay.
Love the blue cheese.
Which is another argument. Blue cheese or ranch on your buffalo wings.
Yes.
Ranch.
Ranch. I'm the same way. I don't get when people get so worked up about it just being ranch. It's always the ranch people. It's never the blue cheese people. Us blue cheesers, we're fine with ranch.
I like both. I mean, I honestly like both, but I definitely will go with ranch if there's only one.
And I don't mind. I just don't like the blue cheese that has too many chunks in it because then it throws me off.
Sometimes I use the bone of the wing that I finished as a spoon to find all the blue cheese chunks.
Yeah. I think you're not a blue cheese. You're not really a blue cheese fan if you don't like the chunks, Vic.
Yeah, I'm not saying I am. Like if it's the only thing available, I'm not going to, throw a hissy fit. I'll eat it, but it's not my favorite. I don't.
All right,
really
so the number 2 thing on this list is not a food that people fight about, which
coffee.
I don't. You know what, Danny? You would think so. You would definitely think that coffee would be on this list. By the way, ranch was on this. Ranch itself was on the list, just itself. That came in at number 10. By the way, it was just ranch, and whether or not it's gross or whether or not it's fantastic, which I think is odd because. I don't know many people that think ranch is gross at all, but all right. But coffee, I think, should be on the list, not on the list. It's another beverage. I don't think many of us do this beverage, actually.
Who's arguing about coffee, though?
Black or cream and sugar or where to get it from.
Hot or cold.
Yeah, if you get one of those fruit
latte.
I'm overthinking it. Yeah. But I never feel like I've ever had a passionate discussion like I do about pineapple on pizza.
Oh, I have.
When it comes to like hot or iced coffee.
Talk to my wife. Also the blends. Do you want the light blend, the blend, the dark blend?
I want them all.
Medium. Yeah, that's not the case. There are people that are like, and black, do not give me any cream. You're an idiot if you have cream.
Or then you get the people people who, if you get,
cream me up, baby.
If you get the coffee nerds, you get the coffee nerds. Wow. If you do buy any kind of like cheap quote unquote coffee, like from the store to make like drip coffee, it's like, oh, I'm not drinking that trash, and it's like, okay, come on.
Right. I get that with the. I get that with the Keurig, Danny. If I offer a Keurig to the wrong person, they're like, I'm never coming back.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you don't have the bougie brew. I want the bougie brew, not Dunkin' Donuts. I'm like, well, Dunkin' Donuts is the best. It's the Cadillac of coffees.
Yeah, I will
with
tell
those
you,
Keurig cups.
See, I'm telling you, coffee should be on this list.
My wife had a friend who was that way about tea. She was from England, and she said, I will not have any tea that's in a bag. It's got to be legit. And so, yeah, she would never have...
So she didn't want your tea bag?
Well, I didn't say that either.
But people from England are very picky about their tea in the sense of if you say, "Hey, I'm just going to heat up the water in the microwave,"
they'll lose their mind.
Blasphemy!
Yeah, so mad.
Wait, don't they eat beans and toast?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Don't get on me and be all judgmental.
And with that said, though, I don't know if I would like to. I've had tea prepared though, and they throw the cream in their tea. That's the other thing that they do. They cream it up. I have to say, having a friend of ours just pass away, and they had English tea for this person, sort of a celebration of them. I gotta say, it is better.
I thought you were gonna say the tea killed them. I was like, geez, man, what's the story?
No, but I want to throw stones like you, Stephen. Go, what the hell's wrong with you people? But I have to say that the legit tea that was made the proper way, English style, was really good. It's and I'm not a big tea fan, but boy, having it made the right way, I'm like, yeah, I see their point. I bet I would like tea a lot more if I had it made the right way. So, the number 2 of the list I want to bring up is the classic cocktail. People fighting over that, whether it be the old-fashioned, bourbon versus brandy. Nobody ever seems to talk about rum and Diet Coke. I don't know why. That should be...
What about pina coladas, right? That's the dominant drink,
I like
right?
pina coladas.
That's not on the list either for some reason.
Frozen or over ice? Which one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, frozen blended.
Frozen, I prefer. But over, I'm not going to be take this back if it's over ice.
I feel like all the legit cocktail drinkers, whatever, would just call us all lame at this point.
Probably.
For this conversation.
It is so funny how people get they want to be all judgmental and I'm like, why can't I have a good fruity drink and not on vacation? On vacation, we're all allowed to have all the fruity drinks, but God forbid you order a pina colada at a dive bar in Seattle. Not that I've never done that, but that would be pretty funny if I tried.
New challenge.
I say go for it.
Just go to the gnarliest dive bar.
Yes.
Where it's straight up, just everyone's wearing black. It's just a dark, dingy kind of a vibe, punk rock bar in the jukebox, and go, can I get a pina colada?
You'll get one, but it might just be all syrup.
Don't forget the umbrella.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is time for Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. You can also text us at 77999. We'll take your calls and texts at 917 on the Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on the Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. It is that simple. Then you're on the air, you're talking with us, and the only way you run into problems if you don't follow Steve's rule.
It's a simple rule, BJ. Show some energy, bring it. Otherwise, gong happens, and we say goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Joe in Renton, you are on the Rock.
Hey, how's it going?
Morning,
Great.
Joe. What you got for us, buddy?
So on the topic of pizza toppings, because, Migs, you started talking about pineapple and barbecue sauce, and that got me thinking about mod pizza. I usually get the Megadoo Mad Dog with pineapple and barbecue swirl. Oh, it's so good.
Dude, I do the Caspian. It's the barbecue chicken one. Although I said I stopped to it. It's so good.
That's what my wife gets all the time, too. And, I can dig it because I love the barbecue sauce and chicken, but something about the marinara sauce and the barbecue swirl with the pineapple, pepperoni, beef, and sausage. Oh, my goodness.
I need to try that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, man.
Because every time I go, I just go straight to the old standby, which is the Caspian one.
Well, and I've got my old standby too, which is one I make myself, but I can't branch out. But it does include that barbecue sauce on the marinara. It does.
Which is funny because I stopped, eating meat and dairy and just trying to switch over to just eating everything plant-based. And dude, I had to switch up the mod thing. That was one of my biggest fears. I'm like, I don't know if I could I don't know if I could give up on my mod pizza. And so I switched it all out, replacing the cheese with their dairy-free cheese that they have there, replacing their chicken with they have like a Beyond sausage.
Okay.
And then still the barbecue sauce drizzle and all that. Oh, it's so good. I realized I think I'm just obsessed with sauces, like more than even actual meat and things. Like when I realized I made that switch, like teriyaki or Thai, Indian, it's the sauces that really were like the excitement.
Oh yeah, oh definitely. And with the only thing is the cheese. That is a big hurdle because of the Beyond Meat and Impossible have done a really good job making you feel like, okay, this isn't bad. This is actually kind of tasty.
They've gotten better with the cheese too.
Yeah, the cheese I haven't tried. I might have to try it just for an experiment because I know back when my vegetarian days. Oh God!
It was awful.
The fake cheese was just
Even when my wife first started, when she was first starting doing the vegan thing, and I would, obviously sampling things, and we would try things. I'm like, this cheese, it doesn't even melt. Like I can't trust it. Like,
you're like, I think I can repair my tire with this cheese.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gotten a lot better over the years. It's a lot easier.
All right, I'm willing to give it a shot.
The plant-based cheese that they use over at Mod Pizza is great.
Yeah, and of course, don't forget, Steve. I don't know. The cream inside the no name might be dairy. I don't know. Oh, Steve,
I'm okay. I'm not as obsessive, but I love no name cakes. But I don't get them ever unless someone brings them here at work. I don't like when we go to Mod Pizza. I never get a no name cake.
Well, I want to support you, but I can't. If we go, you're going to have to deal with me with a no name.
Well, I have no problem watching you eat a no name cake. It's not like a reformed addict watching another person shoot up.
I like to rub it all over other people before I eat it. That's the difference. So hopefully you're okay with that. It's weird, I know.
Contend that if Mod Pizza bottled up their barbecue sauce, they'd make a killing.
Ooh,
and we found out from people who work at Mod that it's actually it's a Mod creation, because I thought maybe it was like Sweet Baby Ray's because it has a similar taste, and it might be with something else added to it, but it's so good. Their barbecue sauce is amazing.
Yeah, Kathy just made something last night where we went and just we got a barbecue sauce, put on top some pork. But yeah, I would immediately have one of those Mod Pizza barbecue sauces sitting in the house for that. Yeah,
all these fast food places are now bottling their stuff. Like Chipotle's got some stuff, and then you got like Chick-fil-A that you could buy their condiments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, these are all good ideas. All good ideas. And Mod, if you want to bottle the cream that you put in the no name, I'll take that too. Just saying. You can put on a lot of stuff. That's all.
According to
as it were.
It sounded very strange.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I can't argue with that.
You enjoy your bottled cream.
I want my bottled cream, please.
What are you going to do with that bottled cream?
Why? Why
would you ask that question?
Yeah.
You can take a spoon and just...
Actually, what do you do with Cool Whip? What do you do with,
bathing it.
Okay, so there you go. I didn't answer that question weirdly, but you knew somebody would come through.
So you're going to put like a dollop of their cream on top of like an apple pie?
Ooh. God, you look at me like, is that what you're going to do? You crazy person.
No.
I like that.
Yes,
as it came out of my mouth, actually, I'm starting to think, well, maybe BJ's onto something. I don't want a bottle of their cream.
Yes, I would take a bottle. You see?
I'm not going to hate him on that
Bottled cream. Let's do it, Mod Pizza. Yeah, exactly. Steve, I would put it on everything, on every darn thing in my house. I love that cream so much.
A quick shout out to a listener named Rattlehead. He said, shout out to me. Okay. It's my 46th anniversary of going around the flaming ball in the sky. So happy birthday, Rattlehead.
Okay, Rattlehead is perhaps one of the best nicknames we've had on this show.
How do you get the nickname Rattlehead? You think from a lot of concussions?
You're asking a lot of questions.
Maybe, yeah.
Ooh. But see, these are dangerous questions. You ask a lot of dangerous questions,
I do.
Sir. Yeah. You know what? Concussions might be the way.
Maybe he got drunk one time and somebody taped a rattle to his head and they just called him Rattlehead.
Okay. Or like a baby threw a rattle at his head, bounced off, and there you go.
And it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
Oh boy. Or do you think as a child his head looked like a baby rattle?
Giant head, tiny body.
Yeah. I feel like,
Rattlehead's cooler than Bobblehead. Like if you're going to have a nickname.
Dude, yeah.
I think Rattlehead makes you seem like a badass.
You don't want to be a big-headed guy in the world of Funko these days, because that's what I would call you right off the bat.
Petey the Pop.
I would call Petey the Pop.
Apparently, Vic Rattlehead is the mascot for Megadeth. I didn't realize the mascot had a name.
So the mascot from Megadeth is listening to our show. That's so happy birthday.
Vic
Wow,
Rattlehead.
Vic. You know what, Vic? We are we on first name basis, or we still have to call you Rattlehead? I don't know.
And Rattlehead is a Megadeth song, so maybe he just really loves Megadeth.
Oh,
all right. Well, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
So what do we think is the answer? Are we going to go with the Megadeth answer?
Yeah, that's our best choice, BJ.
Or Dave Mustaine.
Would you like some whipped cream, Dave? Would you like some bottled cream?
Give me some of that cream in a bottle, BJ.
All right, we're going to get it for you. It is Listeners on the Loose, where you pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
So that's an important question for you, BJ Shea.
Oh,
BJ.
hey, I am ready.
It says, quote, is BJ going to see his crush Avril tonight?
Oh, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
Avril Lavigne tonight at Climate
What do you
Pledge.
mean you're not?
How are you not going to stay? Like, the tickets are cheap.
I bought you a ticket, BJ.
Sorry, buddy.
Your son's going?
That's who's, you know what, he's representing. I'm proud of him.
He's representing.
So it's what, Machine Gun Kelly and Avril Lavigne tonight over at the Climate Pledge Arena?
Yep, and Travis Barker's supposed to be there. Willow.
Oh, I'm glad Travis is feeling better.
Yeah, apparently he's still on the flyer. So I mean, maybe he's not going to be there, but according to the flyer and everything I've gotten, he's still supposed to make an appearance.
Well, I did see him post on his social media on Twitter. He just said an hour ago, "Don't forget you are alive."
Well, maybe not.
Oh,
who knows?
So
wow.
I mean,
what does that mean?
I mean, I think that means that he's alive. He's just reminding everybody.
So is he reminding himself that he's alive, or reminding us that we're alive? This is a very deep. That's a deep. Is it a tweet?
Yeah,
it's a deep tweet.
He put it out there an hour ago. And before that, his other tweet was, "I want the biggest gong ever made," from Zildjian, and he tagged Zildjian.
Okay, so you know what? That seems like somebody I want to follow, because those tweets are so random.
Yeah.
All right, I like it.
Yeah, I think whatever's popping into his mind, because then the next tweet after that was, "What if I'm not like the others?"
Oh.
Yeah, dude, all right, there's some good stuff here. This is some good stoner stuff.
Yes, that'd be awesome if Travis. And then Willow, is that Will Smith's kid?
Yeah.
Man, it's a party going on tonight.
Oh, wow.
Climate Pledge, BJ. What the hell? Are you missing it?
Look at Willow. I didn't realize she was still out there doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's on the new Machine Gun Kelly record. And dude, her voice sounds great. Like, I was like, she should just go straight up pop punk. Like, it works really well with Travis's drumming and overall. And I know she's done some pop punk stuff in the past, but the production wasn't anything special. But I was like, this is the direction. If I was her manager, I'd be like, you do this.
Yeah, the song isn't good, but her voice is great.
I think the song is good. The lyrics are red rotten.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
It's about being an emo. I want to date an emo girl.
Yeah.
It's so cheesy.
Oh, really?
Oh,
okay.
Cheesy.
All right. But yeah, you're not usually a lyric guy, so for you to comment on lyrics, they must not be good.
Exactly. For me to be able to notice how bad they are, they're bad.
All right. Well, it sounds like a great lineup, and Danny, Joey, think of me.
We'll think of you the whole time.
Think of me when you're there.
I'll see if Joe will get you an Avril Lavigne shirt.
They're expensive. Don't.
Oh, okay.
They really.
What about a bootleg one outside for $20?
That works too.
Yeah, I just feel like I mean, honestly, I'll go to the Goodwill and see what I can find.
Those were the best, the bootleg ones. I remember being a kid, and like we would always like it was
as you're waiting in line, right?
When we were a kid, it was like, I can't afford $25 for this T-shirt, because this is so long ago. I'm like, I can't pay that at a concert. But if you're walking around outside, there's a guy with a garbage bag selling you Motley Crue T-shirts for $10, and that was the best. And actually, those shirts were cooler looking.
How about that?
Yeah,
but then you wash them once, and it's like all the print just washes off,
and the color fades.
Yeah.
Actually, I am excited to see the show. I'm actually more excited to take Joe to his first time to Climate Pledge.
Oh, are you going to get Shaq's Big Chicken?
Oh, I hope it's open.
Why wouldn't it be? People need to eat at an Avril Lavigne show.
You would imagine so, but I don't know. Sometimes they close random things. Because we went to see Joe Coy, and they had random things closed. And I was like, why are you doing that?
Because you got to imagine.
It's frustrating.
Some poor parents are going to have to... I don't know. Avril's popular with kids anymore. I was thinking like... some poor grandparents are going to have to take their...
Yeah.
Their 30-year-olds.
Yeah. Oh, so those poor grandparents.
That's going to be fun. I think that's going to be a fun concert. I'm not a fan of Avril Lavigne, but I would imagine that's going to be an upbeat like just a good Friday night show to go to.
Yeah, I'm stoked that it's on a weekend as opposed to like a Tuesday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you don't want to be tired and hungover from that.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, back when when they all first started, you didn't mind because you were young enough to do it. But now, just like them, just like you're like, thank you for doing it on the weekend.
I do love that the concert's called like the Sellout Tour,
Mainstream Sellout,
and they're having a tough time, I think, selling tickets.
Yeah, they did not sell out.
That's funny. I didn't realize that.
I think that's why the tickets are so cheap in the 200 level.
Oh, yeah. You can get, if you want to go, feel free to look up the resale tickets because they're not that, or not even resale, just tickets. They're not that expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad time to be trying to make a lot of money for anything.
I don't know. That's been the last 40 years of my life.
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about.
Fair. On the same token, though, maybe people are just going to the Mariners game instead of going to Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, good call.
They did sell that out.
Yeah, they did. You're right. They did sell that out. But yeah, it's a tough one. And I wonder, man, I wonder if you're going to see a lot of these shows really figure it out, and we're going to start to see some prices come down because I think people are like, all right, yeah, I'm getting the message. Everything's expensive. I'll stop buying stuff.
You were right. I mean, there's a lot of shows where I'm like, oh, that'd be fun to go to, and then you look at the tickets, you're like, man, for two of us to go, we're pushing $3.
Yeah,
like that's just too much.
I remember my wife going to Brittany based off of a Groupon thing. Yeah. Like, you could get tickets on Groupon, and they got some decent seats.
You watch Groupon, Rev. I think it's going to start being a hit again.
Quite possibly.
Because, I mean, any deal you can get, yeah, I might have to start. You know what? Let me go get that app again. Let me see what they got going on. It is Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. More of your calls, more of your texts at 933 on the Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
So today you guys were just playing Papa Roach. Has any of you seen that Vice documentary on the song? It's amazing. I have, and I highly recommend checking it out.
Really?
It's on. You can find it on YouTube, so you don't even have to search through Vice and stuff. It's just called "The Story of Last Resort" by Papa Roach. It's a 25-minute documentary on one song.
That I think I can sit through 25 minutes. I can do.
But it's more of a documentary about just the band starting and all that. But it's really focused on that song, and the whole backstory on the song is it's intense because it's like at the time there weren't a lot of songs on that level that broke through that were so big that were talking freely about suicide and mental health and the backstory of the song is fascinating because it was about. Like the singer Jacoby Shaddix and he had a buddy and they did like a bunch of drugs, like hallucinogenics or something along those lines. His buddy kind of went off a little bit on the deep end, was once an upbeat guy, became very depressed, tried to kill himself. And the song is basically about that and how their relationship kind of broke off after that because the kid got straight. There was almost Jacoby was feeling self-doubt and anger towards himself that maybe he was the reason why he almost killed himself. He didn't kill himself. He was going down that road and tried.
His friend you're talking about.
Yeah. But so you think the song's about a guy who did do that, but at the end in the documentary, they do meet up finally again. And it's a pretty powerful thing to see these two old school lifelong friends that eventually stopped being lifelong friends because of what happened to be able to get back together. And then also just the story of Jacoby Shaddix saying, hey, the song was about him. But then as my life went on, I battled my own demons and the song took on a whole new meaning for me. So it's a pretty powerful piece. And I mean, it's not like a super bummer city watching it. It's a fun watch because you get to see the history of the band. And it's even if you're not a Papa Roach fan, I think you would enjoy this documentary.
Well, I love that dudes and especially rock dudes are doing something like this, shining the light on suicide awareness. I think that's fantastic. That's great.
It's just crazy just to think about with this band. I mean, so many labels didn't. I mean, you look at that record and it was just a monster album for them. But at the time, nobody had any faith that it was gonna be, and it became such an iconic record for so many of us growing up. Many people and people would reach out to the band saying that song and some of their other songs saved their life.
Here's the thing. I don't even want to know how old that record is. When you said growing up, Steve, that's making me think it's over 20 years old.
Released in 2000.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, over 20 years old. Wow. Yep. That's, again, man, Wow. I honestly, so many things that you're going, that's how many years old? Come on.
Oh, hey, yesterday we celebrated the 35th anniversary, I believe, of Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, yes. And that's the funny thing is I do remember where I was. It was the beginning, really, what I think of the success of my career. It's so funny is that Guns N' Roses and what I feel is the success of my career happened at the same time. So when Appetite came out, so I have a vivid memory of that album coming out.
Yeah.
And that's a while ago.
I'll never forget my buddy in high school, junior high school, sorry. And we were walking around and he kept singing the chorus to Paradise City. He's like, take me down to Paradise City. So then I'm walking home with him and I'm singing it with him like, hey, dude, what are we singing? He's like, Guns N' Roses, man. Like, this is like, the record just came out. And I'm like, oh. He's like, have you not heard it? I'm like, no. He's like, you want to just come over and listen to the record? I'm like, yes. It's such a fun thing. Like nowadays it'd be like, hey, I'll share the album via text to you and you can listen to it. But I remember like not going home and calling my mom and be like, I'm at Matthew's and we're listening to Guns N' Roses. Like, all right, Steven, come on by dark. And then it would just sit there in his room listening to it over and over and over. And then I had to go buy the record and freak my parents out because it had the cross on it and that weird artwork. And they thought I was a Satanist.
Yeah.
It was a weird thing.
Gosh, you did remind me of like that was a thing that we did. We went over to somebody's house and because we didn't have money. So if somebody had the record, usually that's how you had to go go over to their place. I wonder how often that happens anymore because you develop, you sort of just, you find stuff on your own now. You have your phone, you have your, so you don't really need to go to somebody's house to do that.
That or you do your buddy a solid and you would make a tape-to-tape recording of it or an album
yeah. Yeah.
Like, all right, I'll make you can you buy me a cassette? All right, I'll make you the copy of it if you buy me a cassette.
Well, and you were one of those fancy double cassette guys, weren't you?
Well, at first we weren't. At first we had a boombox that wasn't double cassette and we would play the songs and I put the boombox that could record on the speaker.
Oh, nice.
And record it that way.
Yeah, that's
innovative.
That's basically like taking a camcorder into a movie theater.
Yeah.
High fidelity.
We were the millennials were the last generation to like bridge that gap.
Yeah.
I remember 6th grade, like the internet was around, but it was like pre-Napster LimeWire type stuff. So it would be like my friends would come over and I remember for us, it was not as cool as Guns N' Roses. It was Bare Naked Ladies.
That's one week.
Yeah, 1 week. And we would listen to that album as we were playing video games and we got obsessed with that song. But then, 3 years later, like when I was a freshman in high school, that's when you had LimeWire, and that's when people would just all of a sudden download whatever music they heard was cool, and then that's when like mix CDs started coming out, and it was like, oh, I'll just mix you that CD, and you can listen to it on your own.
Well, see, I used to do that when I was a freshman in high school. I was in a bunch of computer classes, and I would just borrow everyone's CDs, take them to my computer class, and able to burn them, and I would just make myself like a million mixes, like Vicky's Mix 1, Vicky's Mix 2.
These kids these days, they don't understand. You can just make a playlist and then share it on your texts.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, we had to burn mix CDs.
We had to steal the CDs from our dad.
Mix tapes.
They were expensive.
Wow. By the way, while you were walking through a mile of snow, you
of course. Both ways.
You know how hard it is to burn a CD in the freezing snow?
Yeah.
Difficult.
Yeah.
And when you really get old,
snow melts all over it.
When you really get old and you actually you say burn a CD and you have people look at you like, what do you mean burn a CD? Like with a flame? Okay.
Is this like a book burning thing? Is it offensive?
I'm going to walk away now.
Yeah, you need to walk away, Danny. It's old time. It's old timey guy.
It's old timey guy.
I think that's why a lot of us still love vinyl for that reason, that you can actually spend time and just dedicate that time to listening to the record. And it's an active listening as opposed to just like playing a playlist in the back on your phone.
Oh yeah, a lot of folks missed out on that. It's funny. I take that for granted because that was my entire life. Growing up is like, and being frustrated with the problems of vinyl, but I never really appreciated, I guess, because I took it for granted, the romantic part of vinyl that like the newer generations are finding out listening to vinyl today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man. And I thought, why did I get rid of all those? I just never thought getting rid of all those records was a dumb idea.
No, you're saving space.
Well, yeah, and I thought nobody will ever use these again. CDs is like, no, I had no idea about sound quality because, well, I was pretty much half deaf with my tinnitus anyway, so I didn't know there was a massive difference between the CD and digital and all that. So I got rid of everything, and I probably could be making bank off of them now. A lot of those OG copies that I would have had that I know you young kids would pay for.
You whippersnappers.
I could retire. My net worth would probably be $20 million if I had those.
Oh, that's a good point. We haven't checked. We haven't done it for a couple of days to see how rich.
I was down to what was I? 180,000.
1.7 today.
I'm 1.7 million.
You back up and you're a millionaire again.
I'm in time for the weekend.
2 days ago, you were at 13 though.
13 million.
Yeah, and then you dropped to 1.7 now.
Wait, at one point though, he was at 200,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went from 200,000 to 13 million.
I don't remember that shoot up.
Yeah.
Danny never told me.
Yeah, no, we
were trying to make you stay responsible with your money. Clearly.
That's what it is.
So your net worth is currently at 1.7?
Yep.
Oh, so you could spring some Mariner tickets for all of us for tonight.
I don't know. It's a volatile market, Steve. It's a volatile market right now. Tough times.
Come on, man. They're going for 15 straight tonight.
Yeah, I
Big
know.
game.
Yeah, well, I can't get your tickets because it's sold out. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sure in the secondary market you can buy them.
Resale tickets.
Everybody's got a price.
Yeah, whatever. It is listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Someone even said, go Mariners. Going for 15 straight tonight. Let's give them a shout out. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's hope things turn around.
Let's effing go.
Let's hope things turn around for Marco Gonzalez because he's got his record's not good, but his ERA is good. So the team needs to support this dude. They need to get him some runs. And Urquidy's pitching for, the Astros have good pitching. Urquidy's a good pitcher. So
how great would it be though?
However he says his name, Urquidy, but he's tough.
How great if Julio Rodriguez hits a home run at his first at bat? Because some people are like, "Oh man, I hope that the home run derby doesn't affect his hitting power."
I didn't want to bring it up.
I was nervous about that when
it's the jinx.
Yes,
yeah, there is there is a legitimate thing called the home run derby jinx.
But on the flip side, from what I heard from watching the Soto, the guy that won the derby this year, I think he did well the year before, and that kind of kickstarted his momentum for having a good season.
It's interesting because
it could be him or a different player, but there have been instances where the home run derby actually kind of sparked something for the player. But I've also heard those stories of the arm getting warped.
Yeah, and he said he was sore a little bit, and I'm like, oh, so part of me
hit 70 or 80 something home runs.
Yeah. See, part of me hopes that maybe I almost would give him a day off. I know you don't want to, but I hope they give him at least one day off in this series.
Yeah, 2 days off. Get over it. He's young. He's young. He's 21.
Wow. Yeah,
Body
you're
recovers.
right. I mean, maybe the 2 days off should be fine. It's exciting. It's exciting to be enthused about baseball in Seattle. And this early in the season. I mean, usually, sometimes they'll pull something off like last year where you go, out of nowhere, you go, holy cow, the Mariners actually have a shot. Nobody really thought about it until maybe September-ish, maybe late August. Now, I mean, here we are in July, whoa, okay.
And we saw earlier, we were talking about it on the Mariners Twitter page. I also shared it on mine, and I'm Steve Migs, where it's the Seattle skyline, and you see at night, you see the Great Wheel, and then just a little bit over to the right of it, you see a building that has the number 14 done with the window lights.
Yes.
Do they keep that up? And if let's say tonight you win 15, do they change that to a 15?
Yes.
I feel like they got to now.
Yeah. Oh, yes, they do.
It's just that's a cool thing going on.
That's their thing. I mean, they've committed to it.
Yeah. Oh, man, if they win tonight, I think Seattle's going to be buzzing extra hard.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Oh, I'm buying tickets for tomorrow's game if they win tonight.
Well, that'll be a busy sports day because the
Sounders.
The whatchamacallits.
I mean, at this point, you can call them that.
The whatchamacallits FC. I think they changed their name.
Yeah, winners.
Well, because their Mariners game is tomorrow at 1:10, and then the Sounders play tomorrow night at 7. So at that point, I am ready to pull a doubleheader if they win.
And listen, for all you traffic people, don't forget they're doing stuff. So
they're always doing stuff.
Yeah,
but right? That's not breaking news.
Yeah, but I think aren't they doing something on 18 or something? So if you're coming from the South End, you're kind of effed, and then they're doing some stuff around. So if you can find a way to get in there without having to take the road.
Us South Enders, Rev especially knows. They're always doing stuff on I-5 by Tacoma.
Dude, yeah.
They've been doing it since I moved out here back in 97.
They said, we're almost completed with this phase. And you're like, what does that even mean? Oh, we're still working on it, but this part is done for now until we decide to come back to it.
Right, this is phase 40.
Ugh.
Yeah, you know what I don't know if you guys saw this, but I just took a look at my water bill, and the weirdest thing was in the water bill saying that they're taking some money out of me for their legal battles that they anticipate with Sound Transit. And I'm like, what?
What?
They're like, well, it's like, are they so bad? The people doing our roads that the water company's ready to go to war with them and they need money for me to do it? Okay. You are right about, like, what are they doing down there for 500 years that they can't figure it out?
Right.
And I'm thinking, it's just like Chris Rock. You know what? George Lucas is going to sue somebody. And I just feel like someone is going to sue somebody over that because that's way too long, man. That is way too long.
Speaking of Seattle sports, someone texted in, guys, Coachella Valley Firebird stuff on sale now at the team store. Yeah, you can go to the Kraken team store and get the minor league apparel.
Boy, is that, and then
more money to spend.
Shane Wright, do you think you'll ever see any time in that uniform?
No.
No way.
I mean, look, I'm not willing to put money on. Oh, I did actually put money on it. Crap.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be in the minors. I think he's going to start with the Kraken.
Listen, I hope so, but at the same time, it would be cool to have one of those Firebirds jerseys for with his name and number.
If he does end up in Coachella Valley, that might be a reason why I get a jersey.
You have to,
because I was just telling Danny, I'm not spending that kind of money on a Coachella Valley Firebirds jersey when I could buy a Kraken jersey.
Because here's a conspiracy theory. Just saying,
this is how you sell jerseys.
And you may want to drum up a little business for Coachella Valley and letting the kid be down there for a couple of games as they start their season.
Right, because they're more worried about the success of the minor league franchise than the success of their professional team.
Well, again, you say that, but there's a lot of decisions made in sports that have nothing to do with the success of a team. I mean, it's
I
about
understand
money.
that, but I don't think you're going to shoot yourself in the foot so that your minor league team does well to impact the actual NHL team.
I would say that I would not be surprised if they just for a couple of games they'll let the kids start down there, because I don't know. I know in baseball they'll keep a dude even if he's good down in the minors because it means they get to keep him longer in the majors before he's a free agent. Like they will bring him up at a point of the season just to get that extra year out of him. And that's why, and you sit there as a fan going, are you kidding me? Like, you could have brought this guy up sooner. He's been killing it. So I don't know if hockey's the same way when it comes to how long they get to own a person.
But, look at last year, though. They brought up Beniers as soon as they could.
Yep.
So I don't think this is a team that's worried about that kind of stuff. We're worried about winning, BJ.
Yeah. I had no idea that now it's a we with you that you are now part of the company. I had no idea.
Yeah.
You said
I own a bunch of shirts. I got the tryout to be a Kraken.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I have ties to this team. I have one of their little fancy, shirts that don't get too sweaty that you wear underneath your hockey gear.
Ones?
Yeah, the air dry kind.
Oh, I didn't realize that's what made you a full-fledged member of the company.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my contract.
I had no idea. All right, we got a big question that has to be answered right now. What do Ryan Castle and chewing gum have in common? I'm going to tell you at 9:53 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. And now, the Ryan Castle question of the day.
What do Ryan Castle and chewing gum have in common?
Never lasts as long as you'd like.
They were taken so many ways.
Yeah, sure can.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Got an 18-year-old and a 20-year-old in the UK who were arrested recently for an elaborate scheme to steal $36,000 worth of Wrigley's chewing gum from a semi while the driver slept in the cab.
I mean, Wrigley's chewing gum's pretty good, but...
Yeah, why?
Is there a market for resale?
I've seen too many Guy Ritchie movies.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they cut open the inside of the side of the truck. They removed 7 of the 19 pounds of gum inside. They were interrupted in the middle of this heist when another driver spotted them and called the cops. The thieves took off, but guess what? They were caught later. Yep.
Were they big red-handed?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, they said they had drug debts they had to pay off. So I guess that's a lot of gum to pay off that debt. Yeah,
and
I guess
also drug dealers in the UK accept gum as payment.
Apparently.
Good to know.
Yeah,
Good to know.
Yeah, that is. In some countries it is. Yeah, so Ryan's not off that, which is how he knows about that is a little scary. Maybe that's what his 12-pack is, just a 12-pack of gum. That's next.
BJ and Migs play of the day.
Do you forget who you're talking to?
Yeah, you were arguing with a bot yesterday on Facebook.
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
I was.
Are you serious?
I didn't know
all
it was a
morning
bot.
long.
I had no idea it was a bot.
You did know
No,
it
you
was a bot.
did.
We told you it was a bot.
We told you it was a bot, and you continued to have an argument with the bot.
Yeah, I did. I was like, you're being reported, pal.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna tell the authorities on you, and the bot would reply with, "Hello."
Yeah, then at that point, I knew it. Then I was like, I guess this is really a bot.
BJ and Migs mornings on The Rock 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's another question from a listener. I have a mountain of credit card bills and consumer debt. Can I still keep my house if I file bankruptcy?
Yes, you almost always can keep your home and your house, your car in a bankruptcy. Depending on what type of bankruptcy you file, would depend on whether or not, for example, you can keep your vehicles if you have payments on them still. You can almost always keep your home if you're current on the payments on your home, even in full bankruptcy. In Chapter 13, you can also keep those items. If you're behind on your house, you could catch your house payments up in a Chapter 13, take off a second mortgage in a Chapter 13. So keeping your primary assets like a home and car is almost always possible in bankruptcy.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.